I do?
Covino and Rich. Are you ready?
Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
Heard all about it on the radio.
Get ready.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
Hey! What's going on?
Good morning, guten Morgen to our German friend. What's up?
Woke up this morning, got some gabagool.
You do? Buenos dias. Can y'all say buenos dias? Can y'all
Buenos
say
dias.
Adobe? Good morning, it's our show, Covino and Rich. Our show, our Patreon. Me, Rich, Spot, you guys.
Appreciate you being here. Tuesday, lots to get to today. Actually, I was just telling Covino off the air, quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. I'll explain, but first and first mostly, let's be rocking out.
Go. Hope you had a great Monday night. A San Francisco 49ers, what? Garoppolo, Kittle, Samuel, Monday night?
I'm not surprised.
I mean, we predicted it. We called it.
I'll explain briefly, but I will say, the news cycle is still not back to what it was before COVID.
I mean, I don't think anything is. I'm not back
No, but I'm saying like the news
to
cycle
what I was before COVID.
brings you no fun, good stories.
Brings me no joy.
Everything somehow ties back to the virus, the vaccine, the fucking inflation, something. The world
Kyle
stinks right now.
Rittenhouse.
Do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely
No
not.
way.
That's all I see. Marilyn Manson's in the news. There's like crazy stories about Joe Rogan and Michael Jordan
really?
and like pop culture nonsense that we're good at. So we'll get to that. Sports, entertainment, and life.
Nice.
Steve Covino at Steve Covino on social media. Rich Davis, Spot the producer again. We're here. 412-267-7469. It's good to be back in studio. I was live yesterday, back into the swing of it. So if you missed it, catch it on Patreon. And before we dive into it, Rich, and talk NFL and give you the updates and talk about our Monday nights,
Dude.
I got some unboxing to do.
Let's get into it. Into the thick of it.
Yo, it's
what
like
do you
Nudie
got?
Magazine Day, bro. Look at this. It's like Nudie Magazine Day.
Sweet
Got a whole- Look at
jugs.
this. Look at this.
Everlast. What did someone say?
Everlast,
You
that's
boxing?
my name.
What did someone say? You boxing gloves?
His unique rhyme styles, his
it's-
claim to fame.
It's,
Spot, I can't hear a
Tor-
damn thing, by the way. Just letting you know.
Okay.
House of Pain was the name of his clique. No, I'm a big boxing fan. Everlast. Look at this.
There you go.
So, that being said, I know it's only Tuesday, but big fight this coming weekend, man. You got Terrence Bud Crawford. We're good. And Sean Porter going at it, bro. This is going to be a battle of the
By
ages.
the way, for the people on tier 2 spot, can you do that one more time? You know when someone does green screen stuff on TikTok where they're in front of just an image and it's shitty looking?
Yeah.
Does it look like Spot's just talking in front of us? Like,
Well, if you're not watching, you're missing out on
Yeah.
Spot. I can tell you that. He's dancing in front of the camera as we get situated. Hello, Kelly Cookson. Hello, John ZL. Hello, John J. Barella. Tony Murriello. What's up?
yo.
What's up, Tony? Good to see you. Kinky Blender.
I have a couple questions today, but
Well, let's get in. Let me show you all the cool stuff that I got.
that's right. You're unboxing. What you got?
So we got mail. Our address is at covinoandrich.com. It's always fun. And
I'll
we
put it
have
up on the screen.
new merchandise coming soon within the week, I imagine, at shop.covinoandrich.com in time for the holidays.
The
There it
video
is.
ain't working, bro?
No, it is. So the link was messed up, but I resent it so people will get it. But it works. The
Tell
people that-
whoever is jumping the gun, Vic and Toronto, to beat it. We're trying to do a show.
Is it Rocket Dog again?
Yeah. It's Mauser.
Thanks, Mauser. Miss you, buddy. Say hi to Angela for me. So,
Say hi to your mother.
It's out of the real man in the house.
shop.covinoandrich.com. I finally got my merchandise in the mail. And number one, Big Steve's Turtle Museum. Look at this. Oh, yeah.
You like that, don't you?
Oh, yeah. With our logo in the back. That puts a tingle in the dingle. I like that. You can barely see it, but I like it. All right, let's see. A little, ooh, and I like the quality. I like the feel of the shirt.
A Yanked East
Not
shirt,
one of those
huh?
cardboard swag shirts, nice and soft. A Yanked Ease, that's a classic. Let's see. Ooh, can't wait, man. Look at this. A hog off. Wait till Jordan sees me in this one. And that looks like an official Union, New Jersey high school tee. I love it. That's awesome. Oh, this is the color right here, bro. I think I just won the battle. A Covino and Rich hoodie.
I don't know. Did you see the one I got last week?
You got like an army green. You like
Looks
you're
dope.
like Gomer Pyle. Nothing. Who are you, Beetle Bailey?
Yeah.
Look at this. Oh, Major Pain, Rich Davis. I like that. Covino and Rich hoodie.
It's a good one, too.
And courtesy of my boy Ernest Gabion. Look at this. Some Everlast swag, dude. Nice. An Everlast sweatshirt. And some tees. I'll spread the love. Look at this. Nice. Everlast zip ups. Everlast. Thank you, Ernest, man. And Golden Boy. Some cool t-shirts courtesy of Everlast.
Who's that, Ernest P. Whirl?
Ernest, yeah. Hey, Vern. That's
Hey, Vern.
That's why I wore my denim today.
Yeah.
Look like Ernest. But no, my boy Ernest Gabion. He's a cool dude, man. One of our listeners, Rich, and supporters. He's a big fight fan, and he's like way involved, and he invites me to things and cool events. And I just want to give him a real cool shout out real quick. Ernest works for Golden Boy.
By the way, Spot, people are saying
And
the
he
Patreon link
also-
is still wrong. They had to go into their email and... I'm just... Am I supposed to not tell you?
I'm working on it.
Your mic's off too, by the way.
Thank you, Ernest. Thank you, Ernest Gabion. Everlast. He's a sports marketing rep for Golden Boy Promotions. Fighter liaison and supporter of the show. So
You gonna do some fighting and shadow boxing in that bad boy? Or
as
what?
a fight fan, man, some Everlast. I like it. So thank you guys. And I'm excited about the CNR swag. I get to rock that. Can never have enough swag, especially when you're just chilling at home.
I'll tell you
vibing.
what.
But I love me some mail, so thank you guys. Appreciate that. Oh, and a big shout out again. Yesterday, Jaime Sanchez from San Angelo, Texas sent us a bunch of jerky and stuff. So Jaime Sanchez, San Angelo, Texas, wherever you're at. Thanks for all the support, guys. We appreciate you. And let's go. Let's do this, man. Present.
Present.
Let's do this.
All right, everybody.
I'll just give you a quick update, man. As I recover from the vid, as we all do, you know, I got it the worst. We know that. I haven't had one full night of sleep yet. So I am so out of sorts. I don't know if it's because I'm on oxygen and it like starts feeding me and like I'm awake kind of because I'm getting oxygen. But I cannot sleep through the night and I have yet to do so since October 23rd. Since October 23rd, I have not slept through the night. And I am so lethargic and low energy as a result. I'm excited to be here. But when I tell you I was tossing and turning all night last night, I got maybe 3 hours sleep, and it's just a nightmare.
I've discussed this with you.
I'm also feeling the burden. I'm the carrier of the burden of the guy that died at my house, apparently. That's also on my mind. I feel his spirit in my house now. We told that story yesterday.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I don't think a guy like you should take them because
I'm not
you might
taking
lose your
melatonin.
mind. You
My
might.
dreams are too intense as it is.
Melatonin, your dreams might get too intense. Edibles, I don't think it'll get your mind racing because all it does for me is helps me chill out at night because
We couldn't be more opposite.
do
in how our
not
minds
get
work.
good nights of sleep. What you're talking about is how I would feel, which is why I decided, hey, you know what? Let me, a couple days a week or so, pop an edible, and within an hour or so, you're feeling like, all right, I'm feeling more chill. Let me doze off now.
I'd rather pop that coochie, but I have no sex drive either. So that's the update. Just a small little update as we give you the play-by-play. Haven't slept through a night, not even yet. It's almost been a month. October 23rd is when I got the vid, when I tested positive. And times are flying. We're already halfway through November, getting ready for Thanksgiving. So
well, it just shows you how time flies, to be honest.
It really is
it really
ridiculous.
does. Like the month is just begone. You know, before you know it, 2021 will be over. We're going to be into 2022, and we're going to look back and be like, yo, the beginning of the 2020s were just fucking awful in general, huh? Like, what a weak decade. This decade so far,
Yeah.
the 2020s is horseshit.
Oh, it's the worst. Sending Covino a gift care package, Crucifix, Holy Water, and a Proton pack. Thank Mauser. Mauser, I actually have
Proton pack.
I have rosaries in my bag, I think. When I was in the hospital, they have some schlub walking around. Oh, yeah, I do. There you go. I got rosaries from a scam artist at the hospital. I mean, he was a priest, but I think he was a priest. But wishing people well and praying for him. just left me some rosaries. So
Don't
I'll
forget
keep
the
'em.
garlic Mauser. That's a good one.
All good. All
You
good.
got visited by a priest?
But yeah, dude. I mean, I had
Will
my
you
first.
read your last rites?
I actually had my first doctor's appointment and update yesterday. I'm scheduled for a chest X-ray for my pneumonia and just to see where I'm at in about 3 weeks. I can't get vaccinated for 3 months. And, I just got to finish up my medicine.
By the way, how does that
and then
work?
back to normal.
How does that work as far as Los Angeles?
I'm trying to get some sort of note or.
Can you get proof like,
Yeah.
hey, I had it, but I can't get vax yet? Because I was thinking
I'm
we have a
figuring
meeting
that out
today at a
now.
cafe.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Are
figure
you
that out
even
now.
able to go to that?
I mean, I hope so. No one's ever asked me anything before. Not yet. I've been other places. But I also have a doctor's note that clears me from the
You have it
hospital.
with you?
Yeah,
Okay.
that says I'm good to go back to work and everything else. But
Little Stevie is okay to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we have a meeting after the show today. I'm like, it didn't even dawn on me that what if we show
Hey.
up there and they're like, you?
well, send a car. What am I going to do? Yeah. So anyway, that's the little personal update of my life, and hopefully get back to the swing of things of being a dad.
By the way, is it
because-
true that clergy folks wander the halls of hospitals like candy stripers? Like are they just
Yeah.
lingering around? Like
It didn't give me a good feeling at all. Like it did nothing for me. Like the guy didn't even take the rosaries out of the plastic. Dumped them off.
Like throw them at you?
P10 says, "How do I
Yeah.
look 10 years younger?" I don't know. But I'm
uh,
hanging in there shaving.
you
Hair dye.
at least you could tell Carlos Mencia that this was not what put you over the edge to get old.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I took a nice little walk yesterday, so trying to get back into it, and here we are. Came home, watched some football, and Rich and I were right. You can't be surprised when you think of the rest of the season.
Oh, football.
49ers,
I told you,
who've been so average,
But when you're a fan of a team,
beat what's supposed to be the stacked best team in the NFL, the Rams.
well,
convincingly
it's
too.
it's a division game, but I am not allowing myself to get excited. But you and I talked last night, and the way the 49ers played last night, to make it quick on the football tip, the way the 49ers played last night, Garoppolo managing the game, Kittle just being the best offensive player they have. So he sort of
How did Bits do?
bits.
Kibbles and bits.
Yeah, Kittle is the best player on that team. So he sort of sets the tone, right? And Deebo Samuel, I mean, I've said it from day one. The guy's like underrated. He really
What
is.
bike?
He's really an elite.
Daddy named him
Wide
Debo
receiver.
after Debo from Friday.
Is he really named after Debo from
Yeah.
Friday?
Nicknamed him because he was like a bully as a kid, bullying other kids, taking their things, and Pop's tripping, man. He wants his bike back.
I mean,
Debo
reality
Samuel's
is-
like, what bike?
the reality is that 49ers team, when healthy, is a year and a half removed from going to the Super Bowl and winning in the fourth quarter. I mean, so I'm not optimistic where, the Niners are fucking rolling.
Radiohead is.
But they're playing the Jags next week, and then they play Minnesota, then they play the Seahawks. The 49ers could go, if they get hot, I told you yesterday, the 7th seed in both divisions is going to be like 9-8 or 10-7. So,
Dude, you
It's
guys
not
hear what
over.
we're saying? Do you hear what we're smelling? 49ers, 4-5.
I don't smell anything right now.
4-5 now, beat the 7-3 LA Rams 31-10. Like convincingly. Like spanked the shit out of the Rams who are going for it now. Rich is right. We shouldn't be surprised. We've seen the back and forth all season. Nothing makes sense.
And we know that the
Division game,
49ers
we know the
had-
49ers have great potential
And they had
great
high
players, and
expectations.
They needed health. And they got some of that with Kittle. Garoppolo threw for 182 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kittle had a touchdown. Debo, Zeus, Samuel Lister
but
had a touchdown.
the 49ers have a great run offense. And what they did was Coach Shanahan gave them a unrealistic goal of, if we run the ball 40 times, that means we probably won, meaning we've controlled the clock, we controlled the game.
From right out the gate, too.
And
That was the key. They
And the
knew
49ers
They knew they had to take it early.
do you notice that Kyle Shanahan offense from a nerd perspective, meaning like how they don't run the ball like other teams? There's a lot of sweeps and tosses and stuff like that. They have like an exciting run game. It's not like run the ball up the middle, run the ball up the middle. The 49ers have a lot of play action, a lot of sweeps and tosses, and everything's from the shotgun.
I mean, they controlled the clock from the get-go,
I,
took an early lead, and
Again.
never looked back.
again, not
So props to Rich's 49ers.
not
Way better than we give them credit for.
Not too optimistic, again, because next week they could totally disappoint me. But when you look at the schedule and you look at football, we talked about how unpredictable it is. I said it yesterday. The NFC, the 6 and 7 seed, the bottom tier wild cards are going to be slightly over 500. So if any team gets hot, there's no team out of it. Unless your team has 7 losses already, you're probably in it.
Again, if you want to hear more of our take and our prediction on this game, we talked about it this weekend on foxsportsradio.com. Check our podcast, foxsportsradio.com. And on the iHeart app, we do weekends on Fox Sports Radio, Covino and Rich. I think you'll dig it. It's like a very casual take on the weekend of football and sports and fighting, whatever's on our mind and nonsense. And we said this was going to happen, and it did.
By the way,
which is hilarious.
All it does is give fans hope to then let them down. And by the way,
well, I
Rich,
want to
back
talk
on
about
the bandwagon. Is there such thing as a bandwagon when it's your team?
I mean, it's his team.
Yeah, it's my team. There's no
we're gonna
bandwagon.
talk. We're gonna talk. I got optimism on my plate here, not my personal optimism, but I want to talk about positive outlook versus realistic outlook. We're gonna get to that later. Plus, rando news, an embarrassing story I'll tell quickly.
Oh.
But yesterday, Von Miller makes his debut. Like, what an anticlimactic experience.
And what did I tell you about
being
OBJ?
the guy.
I know you
And then
agreed with me.
OBJ, 2 receptions for 18 yards, like zero impact whatsoever.
And wasn't one of them the first play of the game?
And yeah, Stafford had 243 yards and 1 touchdown, but
It's all garbage at the
all
end.
garbage. OBJ, zero impact. Star-studded team. Couldn't do shit against Rich's 49ers.
Well,
But I hope you enjoyed it. You want to hear the shock from Mike 525?
Oh, yeah.
You want to hear some
Yeah.
live
Your
analysis from our boy Mike 525?
I do, but I do want to point out one last time, and then
Brought it.
we'll move off the football and onto some butt cheeks and random
Well,
dumb
not
news.
completely off, because I want to talk Eli and Peyton too later on. Maybe I'll save it because their broadcast also aired.
I've said it, Covino. Dallas, Green Bay, Tampa are all going to win their divisions, likely, right?
Yeah.
Once you move on from that, 3 wild cards need to make the playoffs. And as of right now, there's not a winning team other than the Rams that's in second place. Yeah, the Saints, but they're going to fall apart. They lost their quarterback. The Saints are not going to the playoffs, if you ask me. You would think that with Trevor Siemian, they're going somewhere.
No, but there's other quarterbacks out there.
Cam Newton, the 5-5 Carolina Panthers, maybe they're a wild card. Minnesota at 4-5, San Francisco at 4-5. The point is, of these 4-5, 5-5 teams that feel like their teams have been playing like shit, a few of them will make the playoffs. So hang in there, fans. Essentially,
Interesting game,
right?
Interesting season. No rhyme or reason. And Mike 525 gave his breakdown of what happened last night if ours was not good enough.
Rams! What happened? How'd you lose to the freaking 49ers?
Love this kid.
The 49ers are a trash team, dude! Oh my goodness, bro! All of these good teams are losing to bad teams! Is this NFL season a joke?
Joke.
Like, holy mother meatballs, man!
Yeah,
This
holy mother
NFL
meatballs.
season is so fucking weird, bro!
That's what I'm
Why
saying.
are all these
Weird.
good teams losing, dude?
weird.
Come on, man!
Come on,
all
dude.
these teams need to step up their game! Holy shit, man! Jesus, mother nuggets!
Jesus,
He's
mother
right,
nuggets.
though. He's absolutely
It's a
right.
wild season.
Get
It's
this
how
guy.
everybody feels, and I'm
Yeah.
glad I feel like we've done a great job of also painting
Get this
that
guy
picture.
on Fox Sports Radio.
We've been painting
and
that picture
depicting
for
that.
weeks.
Yeah, because it's like, wow, man, we get it. There's lots of talent in the NFL, but we haven't seen a roller coaster like this in a minute.
You made fun of me doing the whole parodying the league thing for years. That's why this is coming back to haunt us, because the whole
but
theme
there
of this season
seems
is
to be
parody.
more of a predictability factor than we've seen in the past 10 weeks here in the NFL.
I think the reality, though, Covino, also is there's just a lot of great talent spread throughout the league. No teams are – there's only a few teams that you could consider, quote, dominant, right? Like, all right, so a couple weeks ago, What was everyone saying?
But everybody likes to think they know.
Rewind.
And then you realize you have no idea, and you're like, what the fuck?
You think you know,
Rewind 2 weeks.
but you have no idea.
This will sum it up, and then I want to talk about peeing on people.
It's the true story of the NFL.
I want to talk about
sorry,
farting on people.
All right, peeing on people, farting on people. I can't wait to talk about this. This is
great.
There's some.
It's great how the show just unfurls.
My wife and I were freaking out about something. There's a trend in college that I feel like we've known for years, but people are making it seem like it's new. But this sums up the NFL season. 2 short weeks ago, the Kansas City Chiefs were garbage. And the number 1 seed. If the season had ended, the Cincinnati Bengals were the 1 seed with a bye. Right now, if the playoffs started today, Cincinnati Bengals wouldn't even make the playoffs.
There it is.
That just shows.
Oh, bam.
That just shows.
Thank you guys for all the feedback. Shout out to my dad. Shout out to NW, Andrew Hart, P10. Let's keep it going. Let's effing go. Thanks to Mike525 again for his update. Now, that was your Monday night. Rich, I know you caught up on Dexter as well.
I did not.
Feeling it?
I did
not.
not.
I thought you did.
Yeah, I was going to, but then Sarah's like, I don't want to watch something like that right before I go to bed.
New blood. It's back. Digging it. All right, well, got a nice phone call from our buddy Nico. That made my night.
Oh, I thought that Nico's going to be here in December, and he's like excited to hang, and it'll be fun to see Nico.
I said, hey, perfect timing. I need bro time.
I told him you guys should fucking knock helmets.
We need to match some helmets and get all primal and beasted up together. So, heard from our buddy Nico, who listens to the show. That's the guy that introduced Rich and I. Cool, real cool guy. Had a little combo with him, hung out, had a nice little dinner. Actually went grocery shopping with Jordan. Was shocked by the game, and then just chilled out. And here we are. Now, yesterday after the show, this leads to what you probably have to talk to too. Yeah. This is low and brow conversation of the lowest common denominator. Not as bad as peeing on people at concerts, which we'll talk about later. But after the show, I was just using Rich's bathroom, and sure enough, like, it's so embarrassing because I tried to do the right thing, Spike Lee style, and I went into your bathroom, Rich, just to do a little courtesy tinkle/hand wash.
A little tinkle?
And like perfectly bad timing would have it, your wife walks right there, like she's on the phone and listens in, or if she's right there. It's not she's listening in, but there's no way she didn't hear me rip like a 30-second fart. Like I was right in the middle of it. And it's like, it's one thing to fart in front of your buds. It's one thing to fart in front of your significant other. But like when you fart in front of like your buddy's wife, like a fucking gross slob, and subject her to that when
Sarah's aware of your reputation.
Yeah, I know that through the show, but it's one thing in real life too. It's like, yeah, and granted I'm in the bathroom, but I heard like she walked right by and continued her conversation right in front of the door when I was there. And it's like I couldn't stop mid.
Yeah, if you guys don't fart in front of your own women, can you fart in front of each other's women?
No. And I felt so gross about that because it's like, you know, this is just Rich's beautiful wife in their beautiful home.
The mother of his children.
It's a bathroom, dude.
But,
That's what
you don't want to subject
that's what
your
you do in the
gross
bathroom.
friends to your, you subject your wife to your gross friends and their gross habits.
A strong, independent woman.
And I just felt so embarrassed and bad by it. And I was thinking to myself the whole time, I was like,
working with
no
charities.
way. There's absolutely no way she didn't hear that.
Sorry.
There's no way she didn't hear that. And the only way she didn't hear that is if she was so distracted on the phone.
Probably.
But it was so
I'm sure.
loud. I mean, I let out a mean monster one.
Should be ashamed.
It was peeing, right? You can't control
Was it
that.
a business call?
No, she was on the phone. It sounded like with one of her girlfriends or something real quick. But it's like it's like she almost followed me right to the bathroom right when I was ripping ass.
Yeah.
And it was like a monstrous one. And I felt so embarrassed by it. But anyway, I wanted to apologize. And it's like farting in front of your own woman, it's going to happen. Farting in front of your buddy's woman, that's really embarrassing. I was just praying and hoping she didn't notice.
As rancid as that one time that Jordan smelled your fart and she was like, wanted to burn your sheets?
No, look, I was in the bathroom with the door shut.
That's what you're supposed to
do. I did what I was supposed to do. it was just so unavoidable from my perspective. I was embarrassed.
Yeah, it's not like you cropped us to the living room.
No.
Okay.
Do you
Not at
feel? Oh man,
But embarrassing.
for all the guys living the dad life,
Sorry,
and,
Sarah.
and all the
Sarah.
women living the mom life.
Sorry, Sarah.
The
I
craziest
apologize.
part about, well, not the craziest, but one of the crazier parts about being a parent is that your kids don't have a gauge of privacy and that type of thing. So I'm talking like one of the funny things of being a parent when you have little kids is that you'll be fucking taking a shit. You could be fucking dipping away the bathroom to shower shit. You could be fucking touching your dinky for all I know. And your kid is just outside the door like, Dad, you're like, I'm going to the bathroom, baby. I'll be outside. Honey, go with mommy. Daddy's just using the potty. Dad.
They don't care.
Dad, opening the
don't.
door, trying to open. Oh, yep. Amy, just give Daddy a moment. I'll be right
Yeah,
out.
good luck.
Yeah,
That's
you're like the fastest shit in the
No, but
West.
dude, I'm telling you, like-
imagine how someone like me or Covino would have to deal with that.
Our buddy
Come back in an hour.
Spot. You know our buddy Scotty from that we worked with at Z100.
Of course.
Scotty always would tell me stories before I had kids. He's like, yo, dude. He's like, I can't shit, jerk off, pee, anything in private at all. He goes, the minute I go to the bathroom, he's like, my kids are outside, like, Dad, fucking
That's your
slipping
life.
things under the door. Like all of a sudden you start seeing
like
toys
15
and
more
shit.
years of that.
You have like shit and papers and stuff going under the door. You're like, what do you do? Just leave me alone for a minute.
By the way, Jay Barella hits us up too. He's like, yeah, the worst is when it echoes and everybody hears it. And that's exactly what happened to me yesterday.
Poop with the door open. Just be free. Be a man. Greg Kelly.
There's no privacy. It ties together. There's no privacy at Rich's house. I couldn't even take a pee and fart without Sarah and the kids like hearing the whole thing. So that's my update. I know you had something.
Blame it on Ben.
I should blame it on Ben, who inherited Rich's side poofs. By the way, that's the Rich Davis.
Oh.
Ben, his son update. Yeah, but it extended.
It was
one.
an echoey
An extended one.
bathroom.
There's no way Sarah didn't hear that. I'm surprised she didn't like come to you later on. Like,
No,
oh
she
my
didn't.
God, he's so gross. Why do we allow this in our home? So anyway,
I love farting.
hey, you brought up your buddy. I mean, I can keep rolling. You
Go
brought
ahead.
up,
Yeah.
but you had some sort of pee story, but we.
No. Honestly, I'd rather talk about what you're talking about. But if Spot wants to play it real quick, that story is still viral where that rock band,
Well, we can talk about it in the random news.
the girl, I mean, why not talk about it now? We're talking about pooping and peeing. The girl peed on the guy in the crowd, and the video's out. Spot, you can play the blurred version. I don't want to see this one.
By the way,
pee going on.
there's something. Either my perception was way off, but there's something really off-brand
About the band?
what happened here because
Like, was
Brass
this like
Against the Machine was a cool sort of project that I've known about for a long time.
Brass Against.
Brass Against, but the Machine because
I get it.
they cover like rage songs and
Yeah.
things like that, but they're like an orchestra band, like trumpets and saxophones. And like, to me, they had a cool reputation of they rock out, but they're like
Trumpet.
highly trained musicians of a higher caliber. And they take the gross route and lowbrow route of peeing on their fans
That's
on
very-
stage.
I mean, is that? I
very
mean,
odd.
It doesn't add up right.
oh, I was just gonna. Oh, you're not for it. I was gonna say tier 3
I'll pee on
coming soon. Spot.
Well,
Covino, where I will pee on you.
I mean, I'm
The
far on
ultimate
people.
fan experience.
you can lay in front of my fire on my bearskin rug, and I'll pee on you.
By the way, Sarah just texted me. She goes, "Let Covino know I did not hear anything."
I was shocked by
Sarah,
that.
if you didn't hear it, this is what it sounded like.
I thought for sure Sarah and Rich had a conversation
Later
the
that
minute
day.
I left. I walked out the house like with my tail between my legs in embarrassment. Like that was just so uncalled for. I felt so bad. All right, so anyway, it happens, but it wouldn't have happened the other way around. Like guys would never have that story about their wife or their lady friend or their friend's wife. Like it's their gross buddy that does things like that, and that was the guy. So do you want to play that clip?
Yeah,
real
just
quick?
play the clip to get it out of the way. We don't need to save anything for the random news. We're talking about you farting. This girl in a rock band, but you said they're known for being more of a classy band, or
I mean, they're a
orchestral.
cover band, but
Orchestral.
it doesn't match their vibe as far as I knew it. I've known them for a minute.
Yeah, this is wild. I mean, it's the blurred version. I don't think we should be showing someone's
I guess I was
getting
wrong.
their face peed on, but I don't know what her instinct was. Like, yo, this guy's a super fan. He wants her to pee on him. She pulls down her little panties, squats, fucking lets it loose on this guy's face. Take a look. I mean, it's just. Is that not wild to you?
Hold on.
I mean, is that rock and roll?
Wait until you. It's like look at it.
It's like a
It's like
stream.
a waterfall.
Disgusting. Like, absolutely disgusting.
What has she got?
Was she
Disgusting.
holding that in?
Like, should be ashamed. Like, piece of shit move. Like, nothing about that is like rock and roll to me. It's just vile. And like I said, it doesn't even match what I thought this band was about.
Like, I understand Ozzy Osbourne biting the head off a bat. That's one thing. But just like bodily fluids on top of a fan and on stage.
I mean, the fan was all about it.
I mean, that's one way to be trending, I guess. Hey,
Nah, it's cheap.
Some people-
I know
Cheap is what it is.
it's a cheap way to be trending. Hey, your band made it. You're trending. Yeah, for what? Yeah, our lead singer decided to pop a squat on some dude's face.
Well, that's the update. Story's gone viral for a few days now.
During the meet and greet, she'll shit on you if you want.
Sweet.
I don't know if you know that.
And we got more random news like that coming up later on. What's up, Austin Arnold, Alex Efforts? What's up, Bill Waxon, Relaxin, Cole Maxon, Jose Silvar? Now, you brought your buddy up, Scotty B.
Yeah.
Former colleagues. We all have them, right, guys? People we used to work with. Just rolling. Show sort of, like I said, unfurls organically, but on purpose, because these are the notes that I have and things I want to discuss.
Good save.
In life, we all came up the ranks with people. And it's interesting. Sometimes, like recently, I was thinking about the crossovers that we have in careers. Because there was a story Philip Rivers was telling yesterday about
Like when-
somebody. He had a crossover experience.
Oh, Felipe Rios? I love that guy.
What was the Rivers
Like when
story?
Michael Knight was on, or no, when
When Arnold, when Different Strokes
Different
met-
Strokes met Knight Rider.
Yeah.
That was a good crossover.
Sarah, you didn't hear the fart? No. Okay.
Thank you. Thank goodness. Because I was completely embarrassed by
Sorry.
it. No, thank you.
It sounded something like this.
Sounded exactly like that.
Just like that. It's a very echoey bathroom, I got to be honest.
Yeah, this back bathroom especially is
Super echoey. Those
echoey.
tiles, you didn't think that through.
Woo.
Someone will know what I'm talking about if they watched the Manning broadcast yesterday. But for example, Philip Rivers talked about in his rookie season an old school veteran player who I can't think of who it is right now would break his balls and tell him, "You're going to be one of the greats, man. One of the Joe Montanas and Dan Marinos of this league. You're the next guy. You're the Brett Favre. But if you want to do that, you got to work on your abs." Right? And he was talking about how this guy had jokes from day one. But it was Rivers' rookie season, and everybody has those crossovers, and I've been thinking about that. It's like, how far does your radio career go back with the oldest guy you worked with when you started? And, you know, that's sort of how
that's a good
the
question.
legacy
Meaning, like,
works.
who is the oldest guy, or
Like,
yeah?
and how
I guess,
far did that guy go back? Like,
I know what
he's
you're
your
saying. Like, so
liaison in a
it's
way.
like
Everybody has those moments in their career of, yeah, I worked with the guy his last year.
it was
but that guy
it was,
worked with that guy.
I think it was Lorenzo Neal.
It was Lorenzo
That's
Neal. Yep.
Jason Brown. Thank you. But
Thank
yeah,
you.
I know what you're saying. Like, who I think.
So think
Does
about
does
it.
go
Philip
like,
Rivers
I
played
got
with
it.
Lorenzo Neal, and Lorenzo Neal probably played with dudes in the,
It's sort. I mean, this guy's
Late
known
80s.
for having the longest career ever. But is it sort of how like Vince Carter played with?
Yes.
I don't know, like Magic Johnson, but he also played with fucking Lonzo Ball or something.
So when I was hearing about the Neal story, I was thinking about, well, what was the oldest guy I worked with when I started? Was it his last year? How far back did he go? Like, how many degrees of separation do I go back to? Like, did I work with dudes that worked with dudes in the 70s in radio? Probably.
I'll tell you.
60s?
I'll give you.
I have no idea.
I'll give you a good one.
But we all have that connection, is my first thought.
Why am I trying to blank on his first name? Is it Peter Spot? Peter Gallagher?
Yeah.
The actor? Yeah, the actor from
had
Mr.
him on the show.
Deeds, from Zoe's Playlist. I mean, the guy's been in a million things.
Bushy
But
eyebrow guy.
yeah,
Handsome.
Super
handsome
handsome.
dude. Show a
Handsome.
picture of Peter Gallagher Spot for folks that are.
He was a great guest.
Yes, I called
He
you
was
guys.
a
fantastic guest.
I called you guys folks. For the guys and girls that don't know Peter Gallagher, they'll know the minute that you see a picture.
He's super handsome.
But this guy Peter Gallagher,
You know Peter Gallagher.
who's been in a million things. Handsome older guy, right?
Look at that. Look at this photo right here. Looks like Danny Zuko.
He's one of those guys. I believe when he told stories, he told stories of working with, the up and comers now
story?
versus
Yes.
I worked with.
Did you tell a story about Cary Grant?
I worked with Cary Grant when I was like my first year acting. Like,
And think about how far Cary Grant goes before that. Like, I'm just saying we all have those moments. I had that thought when it came to colleagues and crossovers.
in sports, it's
And
interesting.
no, Alex Berman, I did not watch the Manning broadcast, but I've
The
read
fact
about it.
that I have stood in the same studio as Cousin Brucey just blows my mind.
Yeah.
I think about that. We used to share a studio with Cousin Brucey. So when I would see the Cuz, I'd say, yeah, this guy.
I mean, he introduced the Beatles.
Yeah, he was
to
the
America.
guy that interviewed the Beatles the minute they got off the plane.
Mother, as a young woman, used to listen to Cousin Brucey. So
Cousin Brucey.
it blew my mind.
But
and
we all
he's
have
still
that.
going.
We all have that, and those are cool moments where the one guy's on his way out, and he's had a whole long ass career, and he has those moments with the rookie guy who, again, in this story was Phillip Rivers, who was talking about it, and they shared a laugh, and I'll talk more about the Manning broadcast later. But anyway, I'm talking about colleagues and
Wait, hold on.
coworkers and just.
There's something that sort of goes. I got it, spot. I'm going to send you a picture. So continue. It goes along with what you're saying about
We
how
all came up the ranks with people, is my point. Some were old, and then they went on and retired or whatever. We all have these experiences. But we also have experiences of people we all started around the same time. Maybe in maybe not with the same company, but around the same time and same industry. Who knows? And my question was this. Based on something you said this morning, Rich, if you want to try to recall where your mindset was. But I was also on social media, and I was looking at my buddy Scott Rizzuto, who's a #1 host out of St. Louis morning show. We started together, same time. Dude's been killing it ever since he left New York as a morning radio host. He used to do a show with Woody. Rizzuto in the morning, St. Louis, shout out to him. I'm seeing how well he does, how he's prospered, and how his career has kept on going. And then, Rich also asked me off the air, most of the dudes you came up with, are they still in the industry? And I'm like, no, like maybe a handful. The reason you and I feel, are where we are is because we outlasted the rest. We never gave up. We never stopped. So my question based on the come-ups and colleagues and people you started with is, guys who left your industry, based on your opinion and what you've seen, more likely to be doing better or worse? Because you mentioned a guy who left the industry completely, had to start all over.
Oh, there's a guy that.
But do you think he's doing better eventually, or are you better just sticking with it?
Well, I have two examples.
Like, what's your assessment, guys? Everybody has these sort of moments of their own. If your colleague, you guys started together, this is what you knew. They left the industry altogether. More likely to do better or worse by taking those chances? I know it's going to be different and subjective. Every scenario, every situation is different. But
I don't know
overall,
why-
what's your opinion?
I don't know why this picture is not sending through the spot, but I have
412-267-7469.
I have a bunch of examples inside and outside our world and your world that I'll get to.
You got to take risks. I get it, Rich, right? So let's say you and I, we decided, you know what, man? We're good partners, but we're done with radio. Let's open up a fucking
bakery.
But yeah, like anything's possible. It could be the greatest movie we've ever made.
Yes. Yeah, no,
But, like,
so
do you
let's
think that
open
you
a
have a
bakery.
better chance? This is just an opinion discussion. Better chance of doing better by leaving your industry
We'll call it fat ass buns.
or sticking it out?
Fat ass buns.
Innovate or die, or just fucking really going for it?
What's the name of the bakery?
Fat
In
ass
you?
buns. Oh.
Tart something.
Yeah, we should.
No, I wanna, no.
Yeah, it's by the way, it's vacant now, so we could buy that. By the way, Spot, I just sent you a meme
tart
that I
cart.
sent you a meme that is not going through for some reason, but it just shows you. Look
can
at.
you airdrop it to me and I'll see if I can get it.
Yeah,
through.
maybe I could do that. It's a.
Think about the people you worked with that moved on. Are they doing better or worse? That's really what it comes down to. And financial, like maybe they're happier. Take happiness out of that. I'm not talking about happiness. I'm talking about professional, career, finance. The people that said, yeah, I'm moving on. Are they doing better the same? If you made a lateral move, is it worth it?
Tarts and farts. That's our bakery.
Tarts and farts. Like it.
Fat ass
Echo
farts.
farts. Echo farts.
Before we talk about people changing careers and what percentage of people are better off or not,
Yeah.
just to show you longevity, you talked about how Phillip Rivers talked about how he played just as recently as a year ago, but then he remembers playing with guys that we haven't heard of in 20 years. You see that a lot with Vince Carter, right? You saw that. But Tom Brady, I saw a list once of all the superstars that started and retired already.
He's playing with Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, Tom Brady was playing when games, I don't think were in like HD. Tom Brady was playing when John Madden was.
There's an article
calling
today
games.
that argues that he's had 3 MVP careers within one.
3 Hall of Fame careers within.
What did I say?
yeah,
Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame, yes. 3
There's
Hall of Fame careers within one.
There's a picture I said, Spot,
Yeah.
that is just shows you how long Tom Brady's been playing. The difference between Tom Brady's first video game appearance and recently. That's him.
Oh my God.
NCAA Michigan video game that was like fucking on probably the original Sega. Sega versus Madden 2021. So look at it this way.
Wow.
It is probably wild for people in their industry, right? Like there might be someone that has been at their company 40 years. They may have worked with the company that the company's named after. Like, hey, I work for Johnson Realty. I actually worked with Johnson. You know, he's long retired and dead. The new person's like, you worked with the guy that started this place? Like,
I love working with Johnson.
I know you love working with Johnson. But Spot.
SC Johnson.
Family company.
Changing careers. And by the way, this isn't cryptic. We're not changing careers.
By the way, I'm key. You know, he's like, but if they're happier, isn't that all that matters?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
but I'm talking about like doing better professionally.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
happiness is the key to everything.
Like there are people that make less money than they used to, and they're like, "Well, I used to be a truck driver, and I was gone months at a time, and I'm happy. I make less money now, but I see my family all the time." They're happier. Some people totally change careers, and I want to hear and see the feedback for that.
My assessment to again, give you my perspective here. I think most people that left the industry didn't do better.
Oh, I feel the opposite.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I don't feel that way.
I feel like
or maybe that's my own perception because I value what we do. But I feel like, oh, he became a teacher. Like, oh, I mean, that's great and grand, but it's not like you were shooting for the stars, and you just sort of settled on that. And not that it's a bad thing, but
I look at it this way: some people can convince themselves that money doesn't matter, and other people can't. You're the type of guy that can't. And I'm not no knock on you because I feel like I lean sort of towards what you're saying, but I think a lot of people.
I lean like a cholo, bro.
I know you lean like a cholo, but you also lean towards
elbows up side to side.
You also lead towards money equaling happiness, which I can't disagree. I'm
not, but that's not the point of this conversation.
I know, but what I'm saying is you're asking.
I'm equaling finances to success here. That's all.
Yeah, but exactly.
Equating.
You're equating money and success, which I'm saying I lean more your way, but a lot of people say, well, does money really equal happiness? Like, look at Sammy J, our old producer. Sammy J is a teacher. Sammy J is probably not making a ton of money, but I bet you Sammy J is happier being a history teacher than he was. Why is that a bad example?
Because we get all that. That's given. Happiness is key. You don't have to fucking stay in it and be unhappy. I'm talking like better financially.
Okay, yeah. When people I think it takes a minute, and that's scary because people want instant results, right? Now, I was talking to one of our buddies in the sports world the other day, and he was saying how daunting it is for one of these, let's say, 50-something-year-old guys that used to do play-by-play. If they lose a gig, what is their skill set other than play-by-play? So they're living on the high. They're living high. Being like, yeah, I'm a play-by-play guy for the Orioles or Houston Rockets or whatever. You lose that gig, what the fuck do you do next if you can't find another play-by-play gig? What does that guy do, right? I had a buddy that was in radio. His name is Chris Mann. Remember the guy you used to look up to when you were first in radio? Like, I want to be like that guy. Okay. Remember those people? Like you in your first station? Like probably for you, it might have been like Kane or Brian McFadden or one of those guys where you're like, yeah, I want to fucking...
Brian was my age.
Yeah,
he is my age.
Yeah, but
so Kane,
but Brian
Booker,
was doing big
guys
things
like
though.
that.
He was on MTV. He was working the afternoon show.
Yeah, he was straight from Minnesota when I met him.
Oh, but I'm saying he ended up doing big things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
this guy, Chris Mann, that I worked with, was like the nighttime DJ. He's a fucking cool guy on the radio, hosting all the events, making money. At the time, in my eyes, making good money. He got, when I started in Syracuse, he was like the full-time guy. Chris Mann.
Chris Mann in the mornings.
He ended up getting a gig in Pittsburgh. And that was a big deal because it was like, he left Syracuse. He went to Pittsburgh, went up bigger market. Then he went to Nashville and he was like the main dude. Ooh. I think it was like 107.5 The River. And I'm like, yo, Chris Mann's going all these big. Pretty soon he's going to make
True Matt got his dinky touch listening to Chris Mann.
Maybe so. Wow. And then he was offered, I think, like mornings or a bigger show in Cincinnati. So he went to Cincinnati. And then it got to the point where he's like, all right, fucking Pittsburgh, Nashville, Cincinnati. I don't know if I'm feeling this whole moving around thing much anymore. But he was like really good on the radio. When that final Cincinnati gig came to an end, like new boss, we're changing things. He came from money. He saved his money. He was always smart like that. He opened a spa, like a what would you call it? What's the one you go to that's like when you would have the lower back thing, like it's a chain.
Joint?
A rub and tug?
Bliss?
Yeah, what's the one that we used to go?
Happy Hands?
It's a chain. When you get your ass rubbed.
Foot massage?
This is a great trivia question.
Oh.
Massage Envy.
Massage Envy.
It's a chain, yeah.
I was going to say exotic Thai massage?
Foot rub.
Tickle my tootsies?
Well, it's a similar chain to a spa, like Massage Envy. He opened a spa in Cincinnati. Fucking started killing it. Opened a second spa. Opened the third. He owns spas all around the Ohio area. And now
that's a great example.
So he's like, fucking radio. Worried about getting fired. Worried about this. He's like, I own spas now. He's a spa owner, but not just one location. Like, look. So he's a story of like, yo, I decided I'm changing careers. I have a buddy. You ever have a friend
let's open a Chick-fil-A.
I have a friend that quit his job. Well, I have a question. Uncle Joey. Uncle Joey didn't become a cop until he was 30 something, right? So what did he do in his 20s?
Fucking jerked off, did nothing. My Uncle Joe.
Your Uncle Joe
was doing odd jobs, working as like a maintenance guy at Prudential or something. I don't know.
So that's a great example. If your Uncle Joe was maintenance guy and he's like, yeah, I'm really not making it. Fuck it. I'm changing my career. I'm going to the police academy. And then that's where you met Gutenberg, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And Michael Winslow?
Yeah. The question was simple. It's going to be subjective. It was just more of like a thought-provoking question for you guys because I think it's relatable for everybody. The guys who left your industry, you guys worked together, you started together. The guys who left your industry, are they usually doing better? Think about it. It's a cool thought because we talked about the pivot yesterday. Everybody's career has changed a lot.
Yeah.
You got to pivot. We all have been faced with big time pivot decisions. It's like, you mentioned the play-by-play guy. Everybody feels that sense of, is my skill set what it used to
I possibly have
be,
a new,
and how useful is it, and how's the pivot going to work, and what's next?
I may have a new side hustle that I talked to you guys about. I don't want to talk about it on the air yet, but there was something where you and I was asking you and Spot if maybe you wanted to invest in a side business with me, and I think that's the way wealth is built.
Chick-fil-A franchise.
We have multiple things going on.
To assess my own perspective here, I always felt like the people that left my industry fell off and didn't make as much money as they had thought they were going to make and didn't fulfill their dreams. Happiness, separate. I hope they're happier than ever. That's the most important. But as I really think about this now, the pivot is where it's at because you want to still continue to be useful in society. So, and continue making money or growing somehow, some way. So just something to think about.
Yeah, no, it's like Daniel saying his friend.
Like I'm open to other things, even though this is the industry that I want to stay in.
His buddy joined the police academy at 32, 2 years into it, happy as hell. Wealth is being able to make money while you sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have different things going on, like I in my mind,
Don't you wish we could have like a little like
Is it called passive income?
I don't know.
Yeah,
like
that's what it is. Passive income.
tequila company or something cool like that.
I'm telling. Oh, I have an opportunity for us in the pipeline coming up, and I'm telling you, it's something that if we all invest in something together.
But that doesn't mean leave our industry. I'm
No,
just saying.
no, that doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, find different streams of income. That's the way to make real money. Keith hit us up saying
We open a Chick-fil-A.
to wrap this
Chick-fil-A.
up. Chick-fil-A
I
is
think it
hard.
costs $10,000 though.
Yeah, but it's hard,
$10,000
to,
to
it's hard to
open?
get the franchise,
I know,
and
but
it's
I
very
think-
they're,
we
they're
gotta
very
open a Dutch Brothers.
they're
bro.
very rooted in religion. So there's like a screening process.
Dutch Brothers.
I love Jesus. My name is Christian.
Dutch
We're
Brothers. When I go to Idaho, there's a coffee stand that it's not just in Idaho, but it is so unbelievably popular that I can't help but say, and the overhead looks so minimal. It's like there's got to be something here with this Dutch Brother thing, man.
Well, that's what when I go to Texas, they got what is it? The Two Rivers Coffee, where I get the dude.
yeah.
It's a little tiny shop, and they have a drive-through that's always fucking popping. And I'm like, there's got to be, for a minute.
Too many coffee shops.
Can I tell you what I almost wanted to invest in with my brother-in-law once, and not my brother-in-law that I already invest with.
Well, let me read my sister's comment too
okay,
first. Her husband, she says, is going through this, getting out of the military as we speak.
A lot of military.
All of our friends who got
Former
out of
military.
commercial pilots, who got out to be commercial pilots, are making money now.
Yeah. A lot of
So-
military do that, yeah.
Sorry.
What I was saying
Just
was
wanna read
my brother-in-law, not the one I invest with now already, my sister's husband, Hakeem.
Hakeem.
We were talking about franchising a Subway sandwich shop years ago, but we never got into it. I'm glad we didn't, because it would have been probably a year before the pandemic and shit would have fucking been terrible.
Limpies.
But
Quiznos. What happened to Quiznos?
I know you don't know what happened to Quiznos?
What happened to Quiznos?
Their business model was just terrible. Research Quiznos on your own time, and you'll be like, "Yo, they blew it." Like everyone loved Quiznos.
There's a lot of buzz about that lately.
No, but
Quiznos was
everyone
huge.
was like, "Yo, Quiznos was awesome. What happened? They were
They had
better
like artisan sandwiches. They had that little like
They got-
salamander
spot
thing.
they,
that you could
they
cook
got-
it
bread.
up.
They had
got-
good bread and toasting
they
options.
got-
It's a conveyor belt.
yeah.
but they got really greedy with their franchisees and made things very difficult, and they just started closing down
What
everywhere.
happened to Pinkberry? That's the question.
Yeah. Oh, anyway,
Fucking A.
But the
that
story
shit was
is-
huge on the West Coast in the early 2000s.
I always thought that a Subway sandwich shop in any major city, because we saw it in New York, the concourse at Rock Center, from morning to night, there was a fucking line at Subway. It didn't stop. Like any time of the day you passed it, there were at least 3 or 4 people in line for Subway. So I was like, is there any location in Manhattan where you could get a little fucking area for a Subway sandwich shop? I thought about it good and hard, but you have to have multiple streams of income no matter what you do. If you really want to gain wealth and retire one day and live the life, right? I know my sister did not marry Hakeem Olajuwon. I wish that was
It's a good one, though.
Yeah.
Good one, guys.
Yeah, good one, yeah.
And yes, I'm going to open a Dutch Oven Brothers, right? Yes. Coffee
So-
shop. Dutch Oven. Get
I think
it?
that's it.
All right.
Multiple
That's
streams
it.
of income, but
Again, just
guy that-
a thought provoker.
Yeah.
I wanted to give you a head scratcher when you think about the people that left your industry. Doing better, worse, financially, professionally, and how does that make you feel? Like, maybe you stuck in and stuck around for what? Has the industry been good for you? Think about it. I have another question if you want.
I have one last thought on that, is that when you look at these people, you also do have to realize, Covino, what makes people happy. I know you're saying your angle is more financial, but there are people that are like, yo,
Because happiness is key, period, to me. If
Yeah.
you're happy, who gives a fuck about your finances or profession? Like, if you're
I-
good and
yeah.
your family's healthy and you're happy, like, then you're good.
All right. By the way, Sarah hit me up with a thing that she's like, this can't be true, right? So maybe Sarah got fooled, or this is just ridiculous. And it sort of sums up the last conversation. Spot, look this up. Is this possible? Duchess Camilla won't-
Parker Bowles.
won't stop talking about how loud Joe Biden farted during
I heard about
during
that.
the climate talks about emissions. Apparently, Joe Biden farted so loud and embarrassingly that every royal member and people in this important event and conference were like, he pulled a U in the bathroom, but people heard him.
Embarrassing.
Does he have no control at this point?
Embarrassing. I mean, yeah.
Oh, well,
Embarrassing.
here's the deal.
What do you think's a reputable Is there audio of it?
I don't know.
And
if
then
it's-
Kamala Harris peed on somebody.
Joe Biden. It's fine. I don't think there's audio, but Joe Biden's fart and other embarrassing royal moments for Americans. Yeah, apparently the Duchess hasn't stopped talking about Biden's fart. It was long, loud, and impossible to ignore.
Let me tell you.
That was mine yesterday. I don't know how Sarah missed it. Thank God she did, though.
You know, not to call her out, but my grandmother, may she rest in peace, died at the age of 99. When she was older, I feel like you lose your
Let 'em slip.
Like they would slip out, and I don't think she didn't know.
Oops, she did.
No, she wouldn't acknowledge it. It would just happen, and I don't think she knew about it because she probably either couldn't hear it or didn't feel it. And you know, of course, as a kid, you would laugh, but like I imagine that Joe is at the age where
He's losing control of his ass.
his ass is just.
Oh man.
Vic in Toronto says he's giving out free COVID tests. It's his civic duty.
Yeah.
So-
Hey, as Cello Fellow said, the
What's up, Cello Fellow?
irony that it was during an emissions conference.
There it is.
Oh,
So-
here's the deal.
Got another thought provoker for you. If you missed my story about the fart, rewind. Be kind. Thank you. Covino and Rich, Patreon.
I mean, Camilla constantly looks like she's smelling a fart anyway.
It's a good look. I have a question for you, Rich.
Yeah.
Thought provoker again.
Hasn't stopped talking about Joe Biden's fart. That's funny. That's who it is. Who's Camilla Spot?
Camilla is Charles's wife.
She's married to Prince Charles?
Yeah.
She got a good laugh at that, huh?
The wife of Britain's Prince Charles is said to have described the president's fart as long and impossible to.
I love that. All right, so there you go. President Biden. He can't control his farts. Farty Joe.
How can a man who can't control his farts control this country?
I hear Sarah describe
the economy?
Sarah described your fart the same way.
Yeah, loud and
loud and
impossible to ignore.
Long and impossible to ignore.
I'm low energy, Steve. Foggy Steve.
man.
Foggy brain Steve. Rich, Spot. Thanks for being part of our day, guys. Hope you're having a good Tuesday so far. I have another thought provoker for you. That was me yesterday.
Yeah.
Another thought provoker.
Impossible.
And by the
to
way,
ignore.
I'm still not like my digestive system
Yeah.
is still like something really wrong with it. Like, there's something really wrong
know,
with me still.
you
So
know how-
I'm
you
just letting you know,
you,
it's all adding up.
You know how yesterday we talked about how far you would go for your bro?
Yeah,
Would you let Jordan, if need be, put a suppository up your butt?
absolutely not. Unnecessary.
Just
I'm sorry. What just happened?
because he can't poop. He can't poo.
John D.
Are you
can't shit.
taking?
It's been since October 23rd. Thank you.
Are you taking a Colace or stool softener? You got
No,
it.
but I bought like high fibered cereal.
No.
yesterday, so-
Take Colace and
I'm taking Kulos.
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 No, I'm serious. Go buy shit for shitting,
Kulus.
and because
What did Lloyd give Harry in Dumb and Dumber? Give him that.
I don't know. Yeah. So I heard a saying once, and it was the exact opposite of something that I've always preached. Now, I use the term preach lightly and loosely. It was just a saying that I would often use. That's fake it till you make it. Right? Fake it till you make it.
I've heard you say that.
I mean, who hasn't said that?
said it.
I mean, I'm not the first, but the last. Fake it till you make it. And I feel like I did that a lot along the way. I didn't know shit. I would just say, yeah, I could do that. Yeah, huh? Hey, do you know how to do that? Yeah. No, but I'll figure it out if I have to get to the next level. Fake it till you make it. You know, look the part before you were the part. Be the guy before you really were the guy. It sort of worked for me in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Selling women not on lies and falsalities, but on your goals and where you were headed. You know, fake it till you make it. Because I feel like that was a good sort of way to manifest things. That's, again, I feel like it worked for me. And that's something that it wasn't my mantra by any means, but it worked. And then someone once said to me, no, you face it till you make it. Like, be realistic about it. Face it till you make it. Meaning, like, you're faking it. You're not there, which is like everyone in California, right?
Yeah.
All the bullshit that
The world of social
the
media.
world of social media.
Now, my favorite story of
So face it till you make it is the opposite, meaning like, no. Realize where you are, face it, because by faking it, you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
Facing it is going to motivate you to realize that you need to do more to get to where you need to be. Face it till you make it.
I think it
and
depends on who
it
you're.
resonates with me in a different way now.
I think it depends on who you're faking it in front of, and if it's like,
But it's also a coming of age thing too, Rich. Like, what are you faking? You're a grown man.
I mean,
now.
you're the one that said like, hey, if someone says, hey, do you know this person? If you don't know them, just say, nah, I don't.
Right.
But when it comes to people faking their success,
Yeah.
I know that's like something that aggravates you more than the average person. Like looking at social media, being like, these people, they don't have a pot to piss in, but look at them. They're acting like they're swimming in cenotes.
Yeah.
You know who it is? Know who it is for a lot of those? It's contestants on shows like The Bachelor, where these people are broke, but they're living this high-profile social media world. Where I remember there was a story a few years ago where
Anybody on TV
all these
where
people,
their title's like entrepreneur.
like these people couldn't
life
afford-
coach.
I think there was like a fight where one of
life coach.
them
I'm a life coach.
was mad at one of their exes because they couldn't afford their credit card got declined for an annual Disney pass. And I'm like, yo, these people's credit cards are getting declined for $200, yet they're making it look like they're balling on social media.
How much is an annual Disney pass?
Yeah, but I'm saying, Spot, would your credit card get declined for anything? These are people that make it look like they're living fucking on, the high life.
So my first question here again is fake it till you make it. I think at one point in your life that was okay.
Yeah.
Face it till you make it might be more realistic as an adult, right?
I still yes people to keep the story moving. I did this recently, and only because it's not hurting anyone. It just keeps the conversation going. I recently hosted an event for
an annual Disney pass is $1,300, FYI.
Oh, really?
Well, would your credit card get declined for
It would not
$1,300?
get declined for
That's
$1,300.
pricey though.
But
Yeah.
it is up there.
I'm just for a resident,
I don't know.
for a California state resident, it's probably half that.
I'm not going to debate
Disney
Rich
World.
though.
That's for Disney World.
There's a
sorry.
bunch of people fucking fronting
Yeah.
and faking the funk.
People that are living in fucking studio apartments that make it seem like they're driving brand new Teslas with millions.
They're fake.
But-
sorcerer.
I was hosting an event for the Porsche Club of America. And all these people are fucking rich fanatics about their classic Porsches, right?
People love Porsche drivers love Porsches.
Yo, these people they have such a love and a pride for that brand. So here I am, Porsche Club of America, hosting the event, talking to people, giving away prizes, and I don't know a goddamn thing about Porsche. So there'd be people come up to me like, yo, man, how you
You
been?
knew when you were a kid you wanted that 944 though.
Hey, I really, you've been doing a great job today. Thanks for coming out. Hey, anytime, man. What do you think of the 911 over there? And I'd be like, man, that's a beaut. That is. What year is that? 57? Oh, that's, man, my goodness. How do you get your hands on one of those? Like, I was doing the fucking, Spot trying to carry in a sports conversation. Your flashlight's on. You could do it. Flashlight. Your battery's going to die.
Got it. Well, the Porsche, don't know shit about it.
Porsche.
I meant 911.
But yeah, no, I think
Shade Brown.
in that case, was I supposed to be like, hey guys, I'm just here. I'm just hosting.
It's like we get it done.
I feel like I was
drive
like-
a Porsche.
I was like, you know what? My option was to be like lame in the conversation or just let these people talk about what they enjoy and fake it. And I thought in that case, fake it. But I think if it's real credentials, you don't fake it because then you're putting at this stage of the game, like, who are you trying to fool?
I don't know, but in the world of, like you said, social media, people could buy the bullshit you're selling. So just something to think about.
Oh.
Now, this leads to the core of the conversation. That was my build-up, my setup. Spot, I sent you a clip from Anthony Davis last night.
Porsche.
And my question is this. Do you prefer, or what is better, as our mindsets shift, as we grow, an honest approach to life and where you're at? And it could be sports. This is sports.
Mm-hmm.
Or a positive approach. I'll give you my personal example.
Okay, let's hear it.
My personal example is, Aaron Boone's biggest criticism, Yankees manager, was that he still is always with the positive approach, even when the team was like playing like horse shit. People were like, give me your real feelings. I want your honesty. This team sucks, and you're here like selling us on your positive spin.
So you like the Bruce Arians, my team is stupid this week.
I don't know, because I want you to see this clip from, this is what I'm exploring, I should say, because a lot of times we say we want one thing, but when you hear the other, it doesn't really resonate that well.
Or it doesn't feel nice.
Anthony Davis of the Lakers spoke out on his team. They're 7th in the West. They're 8-7. The Lakers have high expectations, right? They're 8-7. Golden State Warriors are in first place, 11-2. And listen to his like if you're a fan, like, is this the attitude you want to hear, or do you want to hear the positive, the fake it till you make it? Take a listen.
What do you think happened in that third quarter?
We suck. No defense, can't score. Man, that's not this third quarter. Every third quarter that we play this season, we come out slow, lackadaisical, offensively and defensively. We got to get it together. Why? I can't tell you. But we got to do a better job. I mean, we scored 12 points in the third quarter. They scored 40. That's the game right there. We got to do a better job coming out in the third. Championship team, it's not us right now. Not winning a championship the way we're playing. We got to be better, and we got to care more for our wins at home, wins in general. That was embarrassing.
He's speaking the truth.
He says, we suck. We're not winning a championship the way we're playing. Anthony Davis sounding off on his own team.
I like it. I'll tell you why I like it.
That's the exact opposite of the stay positive attitude. So, like, you like the honesty,
I like honesty
as opposed to the positivity approach better, which is what I'm posing to you guys.
I'm a positive guy in life for the most part. I usually try to glass half full it. I really do try to be like, hey, listen, there's so many other bad things in life. Hey, listen, are you healthy? You feeling okay? Like,
but that's not
I try to be
realistic all
positive,
the
but I'm
time.
saying if I'm a player or if I'm in a company and people are being honest, right? This happens on earnings reports for companies, right? The CEO speaks at their conference. Oh, the third quarter earnings came out.
By the way, this is the face it till you make it portion of the conversation.
Sometimes you need to, I'll be honest, sometimes I think
he's facing it.
You need to just be honest. Like, when you try to sugarcoat something that stinks, I think people get aggravated by it. Like, I saw someone write the Derek Jeter, oh, we take one day at a time, like the canned 90s, 2000s sports response. Like, hey, you looking forward to playing this team? We're not looking ahead on our schedule. One day at a time. We played today like it's the last day. Like, those fucking cliches, fans are like, meh, meh. I don't want to hear that shit at all. Anthony Davis is saying, hey, listen.
We suck.
And he could say this because he's an NBA champion. He's won an NBA title, so he knows what it takes. And he's saying, listen, this team right now is stinking like Abe Lincoln. We're not winning shit the way we're playing.
Lincoln.
But then you wonder sometimes when Bruce Arians says, yeah, the team was just underprepared. I have a hard time understanding what that means. Like, so the other team, all 50-something guys just came out playing harder than your team, or you just outmatched? Like, I never know what the real answer is. Okay, we were...
That's an any given Sunday scenario. You know, we wasted 10 weeks trying to figure that out.
I mean, is it a...
But again,
do you want
is
Anthony...
it a face it till you make it? Like, faking it here and staying positive when they're playing like shit, what's going to provide better results?
No fan likes
Facing
robotic
it,
answers.
probably.
I agree no fan likes robotic answers. I just wonder if this is the best way to handle it.
Well, think about
in your own world.
relationships too. Yeah, think about relationships, your career, wherever your life is headed. Like, you could stay positive, glass half full, like Rich said, but if your relationship is falling apart, right, and you're just staying positive, you're not really facing it. Think about it.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm getting at. Like, what's the better approach for better results? You could stay positive all day. but that's not really going to change anything. It's a great outlook to have.
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis seems like he's facing it. It's not like the best look, but
You know what it also is? Someone that's really good could say that, and no one's going to question it. If a shitty player said it, then people will be like, yeah, you suck. People know Anthony Davis is great. So if he's saying we suck right now, people deep down inside have the understanding that if he could turn around at any time, he's a champion.
Spot, wrap it up. Honest or positive? What's the better approach?
Honest.
Honest?
Yeah. I think,
But sometimes it can sound very defeated and pessimistic.
honest with a draw. Like, you have to be honest and acknowledge where you are, but you can also say, this is where we need to be, and this is what we need to do to get there. So you can do both, I think.
Thought provokers.
But you can't be honest, or you can't be positive without being honest with yourself first. Because if you sugarcoat everything, you might not realize what needs to be fixed.
AD was pretty honest right there. So thought provokers on the show.
So he knows where the problem is he was all negative. It was too much honesty, not enough positivity. So I think you need both.
LeBron's been the opposite.
That's
at
the
times.
good answer, Spot. That's the.
I know you want one or the other.
No,
but
that's the right. That's the.
but you need to acknowledge where you are now.
But sometimes
know
just
what
being
needs to be done and be
doesn't-
positive about changing the outcome of it. Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead, Rich.
No,
Wrap it up.
I mean, you guys wrapped it up. I think there's nothing else to say.
It's interesting to see. So anyway, let's get into the rando news of the day. Yeah. Greg Kelly, what's up? Bill Jackson says positively honest. Thanks for all the efforts.
News.
Gabe Moreno, what's up? Shout out to Rashawn Neal, Rashawn Powers, all the Rashans, the Carls, the Discords. Appreciate you guys. Continue spreading the word on the show.
Oh, shout out to, I got to give a shout out.
Shout outs.
Shout out to.
Shout outs. Got to market that.
Someone's brother's listening for the first time today. Hang on. Shout out to my brother Caesar Razzo listening for the first time today.
Caesar Razzo.
Welcome to the family.
why
Tell
today?
some friends. Why
What
not?
do you mean?
Today?
Today's a great
today?
show.
Why?
Yeah.
That's thought provoking, man. What are you talking
Today's a
about?
great show.
Are you serious?
I thought if you might want to listen, they were talking about. We did.
Talk about soup again?
That was our best show of the month.
That was the best show we've done. Yeah.
Good soup.
Soup and Tom Hanks was the
Yeah.
best show we've done all month.
Good soup.
Well, I thought today's show's been riveting.
Ben knocking on the door.
Such a beast.
Get out of here.
Rando news of the day.
Do you lock the door now?
Yeah. Now
I got it.
let's go.
Carlos Correa in the news.
What a beast.
Now, this guy's a superstar in baseball, superstar infielder, Houston Astro champion, has all the top qualities of a big leaguer that you want on your squad.
Taking a shit, Ben. Beat it.
Big player, big moments. The Yankees are interested in this guy, and he goes out publicly, disses Derek Jeter, says Derek Jeter didn't deserve any of the gold gloves that he received at shortstop. And as a Yankees fan, I'm like, well, then fuck this guy. Fuck out of here. I want to deal with this guy.
He has to respect Derek Jeter
Derek
for you to like
Jeter
him.
didn't deserve any of the gold gloves he won. I mean, is that the best way to start a relationship with a team you might potentially play for by dissing the legend there? That's a stupid move. That's bad business. So fuck him. I like automatically don't like him. How could he change that? By being dominant and winning a championship.
I was gonna say he could change up by just being a good player
but
and winning.
fuck
People
him.
don't care.
Like, that's not any good way
What
to
was
start
his
a
reason
relationship.
though? He's like Jeter just wasn't good. Like what?
That's his opinion. Fuck him. There's so many people that think that, but like, what a terrible way to start a relationship that hasn't even begun yet.
Derek Jeter, ¿cuánto guante de oro ganó? ¿Cuánto guante de oro ganó?
Yo creo que Derek ganó uno o dos.
Ay, Dios mío.
Cinco, creo que
I
ganó.
don't know.
Ya ni
It's
me acuerdo,
Spanish.
ya ni me acuerdo porque para mí le regalaron los 5.
Derek Jeter no se merecía ninguno.
No, se los regalaron.
Oh, man, he didn't deserve anything.
Negativo
Damn.
caballos.
Yo lo sé, eso yo lo sé.
So, Covino and Rich have a great show on Patreon.
Yeah, Jay Bots.
Sorry, I didn't realize it was in Spanish.
Doesn't matter. But anyway, that's a big story.
But you see it now.
Barstool's report. Everybody's reporting the story, and it's like that's really an odd approach. You know, when you are in contention of playing for that organization, and people love Derek Jeter, just a weird, counterproductive move, in my opinion.
All right, can I give you? Speaking of Gold Gloves,
Sure.
I'll give you a baseball nerd question. Go around the positions real quick. Do you think you could name who has the most Gold Gloves in the history at that position?
No.
I mean, I think have you thought about it?
No.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
But tell me something. Go ahead.
But I'm
Throw
saying,
some out
like,
there.
you're the biggest baseball guy that I know. You don't think you could guess? Like, pitcher.
Gold Gloves?
I thought that was an obvious one because he won it like every year. Greg Maddux, 18.
I knew Greg Maddux was up there for sure.
Catcher. Played in our lifetime. Has 13 Gold Gloves. Not Yadi Molina.
No, I was going to say Pudge Rodriguez.
There you go. You're doing better. 13. First baseman. Most Gold Gloves ever. Our childhood. Best there is. The field.
Keith Hernandez.
Bingo. You got another one. 11.
Wow. See, you know. It's in there.
Second baseman. Guy that played in our lifetime.
Fucking Paul Molitor. I don't know.
Robbie Alomar.
Ah, that's a good one, yeah. Robbie Alomar.
Third base. Anytime someone plays third base, they make a reference to this guy. Old timer, but they make a reference. Like,
Pop goes the Weasel because the Weasel goes pop. Brooks Robinson.
Brooks Robinson, 16. So far, you're nailing him, and you're making it seem like you don't know. Shortstop. Fucking doing backflips.
Ozzie Smith.
Ozzie Smith, 13. In the outfield, this is where it got tricky because we think of him as a slugger. Barry Bonds, most for a left fielder ever, 8. Barry Bonds, we think of as a slugger and fucking big. We forget that at the beginning of his career, he was such like a 5-tool type of player. Center field,
Mickey Mantle.
over the shoulder.
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays, 12. And right field, the late great, died way before his time. Legend in the Hispanic community.
Roberto Clemente.
12. There you go.
Who ended his career with 3,000 hits.
But you know who the best fielder is now that has won? I didn't know what this is. He's won, I think, 5 or 6 in a row platinum gloves. You know what that is?
Arenado?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Platinum gloves. Nolan Arenado. I wasn't aware. They've been doing that for about 10 years where, they take all the Gold Gloves winner and they're like, of those, who's the best?
Yeah.
And Nolan Arenado.
He's an incredible player.
Nolan Arenado has won it like 5
million.
years in a row. Like, he's clearly the best fielder in baseball.
Got a glove, man. That being said, rest in peace, Julio Lugo, 2007 Boston Red Sox shortstop champion, passed away of a sudden heart attack at the age of 45.
And you know who else died at 45? I think we mentioned it. Maybe we didn't. Former Met, who has the most relief appearances by any pitcher in Mets history other than John Franco. Remember lefty specialist Pedro Feliciano?
Yeah.
Died at 45 also.
But Julio, yeah, rest in peace, both guys. Terrible stories.
Yeah.
In other Mets news, Syndergaard.
Thor's gone.
Thor's gone.
Sorry, Rich.
I know.
Sorry,
he moved
buddy.
out here to L.A. He's going to be an Angel.
He's going to be an Anaheim Angel 1 year,
can go
$21
see
million. By the way, it goes to show you how fucking inflated. It's like unbelievable. If this guy wins 10 games, I'd be surprised. That means they're valuing every
potential.
victory about $2 million. He's making $21 million a year. The guy is so average. Noah Syndergaard?
Thor
Good
himself. Right-hander, Noah Syndergaard. 1 year deal
$21 million
with
for
the
Anaheim.
Angels. Yeah. I mean,
They really value 10 wins.
here's the deal. When you look at Syndergaard's stats, it's like, you know how a lot of times
The potential was there for a long time.
A lot
guys.
of time,
He just hasn't.
You
I
know
don't
what it
think he's
is?
gonna do it.
It's a lot of time because we're just living our lives with work and kids and life. Spot, we always talk about how some shit that happens, you're like, what did that happen a year or so ago? And it's like, no, that was like a decade ago. I saw there's actually a sweeper, one of those production pieces. There's a new channel on Sirius XM, the 10 spot, which is all 2010s music. And one of their production pieces.
On the 10th spot.
The 10 spot. All 2010s music. And they're like, doesn't the early 2000s feel like yesterday? Like, yeah, we all feel that way, right? That's their whole gimmick. Like, this music feels like it's yesterday, but a lot of it's 10 years old. Noah Syndergaard had like a dominant little stretch when the Mets were going to the World Series. And like the year after, remember Thor and all that? That shit was 2015, 2016, which means he's 5 years removed from doing anything.
That's what I'm saying. So
See
to
me
pay
in
this
yoga.
guy $21 million when I feel like that window's closed. I'm not saying he's done in the
Yeah.
bigs, but $21 million.
I mean,
we're really overvaluing people.
well, I want to just point this out. He was great in 2015 and 2016.
By the way, you know who else had a mean stretch?
Me in yoga class last week.
Spot in
Spot
yoga
doing,
class. And
his-
apparently Joe Rogan, who claims he could suck his own D.
No, he can't.
He said it.
No, he can't. I'm sorry.
Because he has a mean stretch.
What?
Yeah, weird story.
Sorry, I've been trying for years. It's not going to happen.
So Syndergaard was injured all of 2017. He came back and he was really good in 2018. But then he was hurt and didn't do that well in 19. 2020, he didn't play at all because he was out. And this past year, he was hurt too. The guy hasn't played for much of the last 3 seasons.
Maybe having a cool nickname and a cool gimmick.
And being like a handsome guy.
Yeah, is
fucking
what,
blonde, long, 6'6" guy with long blonde hair. Thor.
It adds to the mystique and the allure, and the guy's getting paid. So anyway, that's just another update. Rando News trying to, fly through this. Yo, the Manning broadcast last night, right? I'm not about it, Alex Berman. I told you it's like a Zoom call to me. I'm
sort of off it too. I'll when I'm wrong, I admit it, and it was fun for the novelty of it. But when I'm watching a game that I'm interested in, watching 49ers Rams last night, guess what I wanted to watch? Like the real broadcast. When I was interested in it. When I guess when the game is not teams I care about, maybe it's more fun to check out what the Mannings are doing.
It's cool to innovate. It's cool to try something new.
So
Ryan Salinger says he feels like it's a Zoom call too. He needs a little production value. To quote Covino, does anyone take pride in their work anymore? Thank you, Ryan Salinger. Twitter, at Covino and Rich, at Steve Covino. Now, there was a weird moment. I don't know if you saw this, but Draymond Green was on the broadcast yesterday.
Draymond Green?
And again, I read about it. I'm not watching this. They start talking about, I think, draft picks around his era, and Eli Manning starts talking about Fab Melo, like whatever happened to that guy. And Fab Melo
did happen to Fab
apparently died in 2017. Like he was one of those random sudden deaths, like in their sleep, if I'm not mistaken. Eli Manning nearly got himself in some hot water when he randomly brought up the name of a deceased former NBA player during the latest edition of the Manning of the Manning Cast. While interviewing Warriors forward Draymond Green, the producers of the Manning Cast showed a list of 34 players drafted before Draymond Green. On the list was Fab Melo, who tragically died in his sleep back in 2017. So, and then like everybody's watching this, not knowing what he's going to say.
I forgot.
No, but like there were so many people like, oh my God, he's about to say some stupid shit because he clearly doesn't realize this guy's dead.
Fab Melo, he was a Syracuse guy. He played for Q, so I knew him from that.
I remember the name.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I didn't even know he passed away. So I understand how someone could forget this.
But that's awkward.
What did he say though?
Just nothing. You got a
bad?
spot here.
Yeah,
take. But people were worried. Like
Every single one of them.
Where did he play?
Fab Melo is Celtics.
Is he playing? There you go.
No, he's not even. God rest his soul.
Bosa over the middle.
They got Bosa in the middle, right? They moved.
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. Oh, they got Bosa in the middle.
Now hold on. Are we gonna fault Eli Manning for not knowing everything? Hell no. But man, that's kind of or could have been. Yeah, could have been really awkward, and people watching this story and conversation unfold live was like, oh, geez, And, it does make you think about sometimes you're having conversation about people and you're like, wait, are they alive? Like it happens. It happens all the time. Anytime you bring up Gene Hackman, I'm like, is he dead?
Yeah. Someone, who was it?
Elon Musk just called out Bernie Sanders recently.
I thought you were dead. I know he saw
that.
Yeah,
Elon Musk. And by the way, it's weird to appreciate the charm of Elon Musk because don't you feel like you're appreciating it coming from a place of Asperger's or like slight autism or something?
Elon Musk?
Elon Musk's, his zingers, his humor, it's almost
some type of genius going on?
It's like, yeah, it's coming from a place of, he's saying this because
this was a bit harsh though.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders. Spot, do your best Bernie.
We must demand that the extremely wealthy pay their fair share, period.
And then Elon Musk responds, I keep forgetting that you're still alive.
Rich, do your Elon Musk.
I keep forgetting. Sound like an alien?
I keep forgetting you're still alive. Moo.
How dare you talk to me like that?
Yeah.
I ran for president.
I mean, it happens. Sometimes you
go back to space where you belong.
You're caught off and you're talking about somebody and like, Wait a second.
Who was it? Someone recently, I politely...
When it happens on live TV, it's a little awkward.
I politely gave him the old, yo, this is old news. I think it was our good pal, Mary Sacco, Don Sacco's wife, who's always supported the show. She posted like a rest in peace. Like,
that happens.
She posted like, rest in peace, Sean Connery, or something. And I was like, I hit her up. I'm like, yo, Mary, that was like a year and a half ago. But sometimes these stories circulate again.
Dude, I got to be honest.
Yeah.
It's funny you bring that one up because I forgot that Sean Connery died.
But I think that was the one. Mary posted like, oh my God, rest in peace, Sean Connery. And I'm like, it was last year.
Hey guys,
like,
it happens in life, but it's also really awkward when it happens, on live TV. This is a funny story. Michael Jordan, the Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan thing is fucking weird.
Speaking of, didn't Nicole imply that Michael Jordan died on the mashup? We talked about that, right?
Yeah, it's fine. It's on the Morning Mashups Instagram. You can find it if you go back. Nicole, she used a term incorrectly, and this might be a conversation itself. Have you used a term incorrectly?
Well, let's save it because I want to get to the news. But
okay, well, what do you want to rush for? It's only 10:30.
We have a meeting today. Spot said we got to wrap up.
Like a few minutes early, not like an hour early.
I think a lot of people use this word wrong. I think a lot of people use the word infamous wrong.
No, infamous means more than famous.
More than famous.
No, it means like negatively famous for something negative.
Yeah, no, but
like we do it based on the movie Three Amigos.
Yeah, Three Amigos, when they go infamous, that means more than famous.
Because they didn't know what it meant.
So that was the whole joke. But I think, Spot, I'm saying in real life, I've heard people say, the infamous, and I'm like, infamous insinuates like negatively famous, like fucking Hitler's infamous.
Or known for doing something negative.
Yeah, it would be like, the infamous Joe DiMaggio. Motherfucker didn't do anything wrong.
No, he's
like,
just famous.
He's just famous. So I think a lot of people use the word infamous wrong. I know that we hate when people...
The definition is well known for some bad quality or deed, or wicked and abominable.
Yeah, I think, and speaking of Wicked, Ariana Grande is going to be in the new Wicked movie as Glinda the Good Witch. By the way, another thing people use incorrectly, and it drives everyone crazy that is good with grammar. Not the grammar police out there on social media, but when... Oh, that's a good one, Austin. I'll take that one first. When people say, I could care less.
Hate that. That's probably my biggest pet peeve.
Because
if you could care less, you would.
You would
couldn't.
Care.
I couldn't care less.
The phrase, as Covino said, I couldn't care less. Because I could care less, as you said, means there's an ability for me to care less than this. I couldn't care less. And I hate when... I hate to call out women for this, but a lot of younger women are like, literally? Do you mean figuratively? They'll say literally, and it's like, no, you're not. You don't mean literally, because literally would mean it's actually happening.
Yeah, figurative. If you think about a figure of speech, is like
If you say there was literally 100 fire trucks there, no.
There were figuratively 100.
Figuratively, like that's like a figure of speech. So literally and figuratively, infamous. Couldn't care less. Irregardless is not a word. I know Mark asked, but you know who used to say that a lot? Your boy.
Your boy.
It was your boy. You did a fitness show with him.
Derek Poundstone.
Irregardless, Covino.
Strongest man alive. So what did Nicole say about Michael Jordan as I get into the story?
Nicole thought when you called someone the late great, she thought late great meant they're just not doing what they used to do.
Really?
What? Do you found that spot or no?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, yeah, just play Nicole. Because she so confidently says the late, great Michael Jordan, and Stan was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No one's ever corrected it. Like, that's absurd.
Yeah.
So the late, great Michael Jordan wore these shoes.
He's not late.
He's not
He's
late.
very much alive,
He's
Nicole.
alive and well.
Very much alive.
He runs the Jordan brand. I don't know if you know.
Wait a minute. I misspoke because when I thought people said the late, great, it was like they used to do something, not that they're dead. I'm sorry.
Late means they're dead.
No, late means they're dead, Nicole.
Are you fucking joking me? That's the most ridiculous shit I ever heard.
The late, great Michael Jordan. Whoa, slow down, Nicole.
Wow.
She's fucking alive and well.
That's the life of a beautiful woman. No one wants to correct her. It's not the first time she said that shit. Holy shit.
The late, great Michael Jordan. Slow down. He's alive.
Well, you know the lyrics. Yeezy, 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 jumped over the jump man. Yeezy, 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 jumped over the jump man. Meaning Yeezy brand jumped over the jump man over Michael Jordan, Air Jordan, and based on that controversial lyric from Kanye West, Michael Jordan
Took that personally?
took that personally, as the meme goes, and refuses to meet with Kanye West. Isn't that some shit? Isn't that funny? That's according to like nice like sneaker blogs and things like that.
I have a question.
Like, is Kanye West obviously a businessman, designer, entrepreneur, genius, and
I have a really hot take.
His own way, but Michael Jordan will not give him. Michael Jordan's such a fucking guy. He don't give a fuck about LeBron James. He don't give a fuck about how much LeBron always wanted to be like him. Fuck you, Kanye. Fuck you. I don't need you, or you. And fuck you, Scottie Pippen, too. And I'm taking $10 million for this documentary. Fuck all you guys.
Let me tell you something.
Michael Jordan is no
Here's my scalding hot take. I know sports people and news people love their hot takes.
Imagine being so powerful that you could just turn down Kanye and be like, fuck you.
I think there is no human being. Follow me here. There is no human being that lucked out for the time they lived their prime. Christopher Columbus has now been exposed for being a piece of shit, right? We went from thinking Columbus discovered America and he's the greatest guy ever to like he's a piece of shit.
I mean, according to Neil deGrasse Tyson, what he did was still amazing.
Michael Jordan. Everyone want to be like Mike. He was the fucking greatest. And till this day, everyone's like, greatest of all time. Like, I saw someone the other day. It was like...
Jason Brown.
Yeah, Jason Brown's
No,
kid.
Chris Rucker. Was it Chris Rucker?
No, it's Jason Brown. His son or his kid was like, LeBron's the best. And he sat his kid down. He's like, watch these Jordan highlights. And then the kid's like, Dad, you're right. Like, people fucking jerk off to Michael Jordan.
I mean...
Let me tell you something.
Not Scottie Pippen.
Michael
based on
Jordan,
his book and based on his stories.
Michael Jordan was a bully. He was selfish. He was a gambler.
He was a product
rude.
of the times.
He was a dick. If Michael Jordan played 10 or 20 or 30 years later, he would be exposed as like a piece of shit that was canceled. We glorify Michael Jordan. I'm not saying he did anything like he didn't kill anyone, but Michael Jordan, we make it seem like he's kind.
He kept people in their place, that's for sure. Man.
The only thing he did that was, quote, like family friendly was Space Jam. Other than that, Michael Jordan was just like a rude, selfish guy from everything you hear.
He stayed out of a lot of political things too. Like he's very selfish and in his
the
branding
black,
and in his ways.
The black community, for the most part, I could be wrong when it comes to that. You hear a lot of African American folks talk about how he never stood up. He never took his platform and said, I'm going to do good
like a
with
Bill
it.
Russell or like a Muhammad Ali or for sure. But to think of the clout, I mean, he's fucking Michael Jordan.
I agree.
This isn't a surprise.
Look
but
at
just say no, I'm not meeting with you. I think is so fucking funny.
What Elver said is true. Michael Jordan's the fucking GOAT in basketball, but he might be a pretty. I don't know about horrible, but he's not the best human being. He's the best at what he did. But if you don't think Michael Jordan today would have rubbed people the wrong way, Michael Jordan just lived in a time where no one gave a shit.
He's no Johnny Gill.
Yeah, but look at the array of athletes today. I don't think they're all known for being great people.
Spot.
I think people look past that when you have talent.
Yo, guys get like.
Did you see all the commentary about how Aaron Rodgers is getting more heat than guys like, Ruggs, and like he's more hated in the NFL based on his vaccination decisions.
Aaron Rodgers not getting vaccinated.
Criminals and people beating their girlfriends in the NFL.
Yeah, more people hate on Aaron Rodgers. It's like when Dave Chappelle said, what's the rap? The baby got more hate for saying something about the gay community than he did for killing someone.
It's true.
Aaron Rodgers is getting more shit from the general public than players that have broken the law.
And he, I brought him up because you're talking role models and things like that. He's saying I understand that we have this sort of power, but I'm not perfect, and made a mistake.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I agree with Alejandro. Jordan wanted to just play ball. Michael Jordan, though, he did a couple want to be like Mike Gatorade commercials. He was in Space Jam, but anyone that really knew the real Michael Jordan, people weren't exposed the way they are now through social media. You get a major glimpse into the real side of people. Everyone's got a camera phone. Everyone's got social media at their fingertips, Michael Jordan would have had some questionable moments, I bet, throughout the years.
I mean, there's no question.
He was known as a partier. He was known as a gambler. He wasn't
got his dad involved somehow. Maybe
he infidelity. Like Michael Jordan,
questionable retirement.
He was not an angel.
Cover-ups, maybe.
Greatest player.
Just took $10 million from that documentary. No other Bull got money from that documentary. And made it all about him. It was about the team. It was the last dance, but it was about Jordan. Spot and Rich, to wrap it up, the original story, though. Like, the Kanye West thing. Is it amazing, too, that, like, he's even that successful with his sneakers and shit like that, and that Jordan even holds those grudges in that way?
I think I'm more fascinated by the fact that when Kanye was doing style and fashion at first, I sort of laughed about it, and he's a billionaire now. Like,
wild. Kanye Yeezys are the equivalent of NFTs. Like, I don't understand why they have value.
Yeah, but like when they're up there, you know, like the Jordan brand.
Yet they both have value.
Crazy.
Like,
all right.
I thought at first, I was like, really? Kanye West, fashion guy? All right, cool. Now I'm like, yo, I was so wrong because he is forget music. The guy's a fashion style icon. He's a billionaire.
It's crazy.
And when you talk about coincidental, you ever think of this? I thought about this the other day when I was on Pop 2K. In the song Stronger.
Yeah.
What's the last lyric? I mean, just put in your head. You remember?
Like OJ had isotoners?
When OJ had isotoners.
That's how long I've been on you.
You don't think there's some irony in the fact that he shouts out fucking OJ and isotoners, then ends up dating, marrying, and divorcing the daughter of the guy that fucking defended OJ with the fucking glove? You don't think? I mean, I know it's a small world, but like he just used OJ and gloves as a shout out, and it's like, oh shit! Now I'm married to the girl whose dad defended OJ with the glove. There's a little irony there, no?
OJ was a family friend of the.
I know, but I'm saying there's irony that he wrote that song before he even met Kim.
That's how long he's been on you.
It's a great song, by the way.
Stronger is a great song.
Is that one of his best songs?
In my opinion, yeah. That's my favorite Kanye shit. So anyway, the Jordan thing, the grudge is real, or according to the story. Now, we mentioned this yesterday, but I did find it really interesting. Again, I saw an article, and it's from Health and Fitness Inside Hook. And we mentioned this. I'm not going to harp on it. But if you remember the whole tone of last week and the bonding thing, it is pretty interesting how we're all consciously on the same train track of thought of life and feeling the same sort of things. Because SNL, I know Spot mentioned it, but the article says confronts the biggest mental health issue facing men. And we talked about it before SNL even mentioned it.
Yeah, it's
this
not,
weekend's best
it's
SNL sketch lampooned and lamented the lack of middle-aged male friendships. Like, coincidence? Is SNL listening?
No,
are we all on the same?
I think we're all just living the same
train
fucking
track
thing.
of thought. You know, and that's really, it's pretty wild because
it's like when a comedian does a bit about, hey, you ever go on an airplane and this happens? And it's like, did they steal that joke? No, it's just fucking what everyone
How
sort of
are we
goes
so
through.
collectively on it? Like, I didn't bring it up just because I had nothing else to talk about. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling some sort of way, not necessarily me personally, but like what I'm witnessing and on the show, and it got me thinking. And then coincidentally, SNL does a whole fucking thing that went viral on it. And now there's articles about it's the biggest issue facing middle-aged men, their lack of male bonding friendships.
What was it?
Pretty interesting.
Man Park?
Man Park, yeah.
Man Park was a
SNL flags every time.
Yeah, NBC and SNL is like, so I don't want to play
worst.
it.
But explain it, Spot.
It's just, it's, you know, the guys, when their women come home, they just want to talk about all this guy stuff.
Spot, give yourself a one shot while I go to the bathroom and you could explain this.
Okay. So then what? So since women are bored of the things that their guys are talking about.
Yeah, so they send their, you know, so now it's like, now there's a man park, and it's essentially a dog park, but for men.
And
women,
women,
so the women bring their guys to this park, and all the men talk about things that they like with each other.
And it went viral, and it became a discussion that's resulted into like, is this really the biggest issue that men are facing? And it's also leading back, when you do some of the research in these articles, to the pandemic, and like sort of like rewiring your brain to get back to normalcy and to get back into those bonding sort of moments that we lost along the way. So I think, there's a collective conscious going on amongst all of us. So I'm not the weird one for bringing it up. And how ironic and coincidental that SNL did this whole thing, and now it's become a conversation that people are having.
I think people are becoming more aware of mental health for men because men just kind of hide everything.
Yeah, you always see those memes where it's like, what dads are really thinking, and it's like,
What does it mean when a guy says I'm all right?
You ever see that one spot when a guy says I'm all right? What it really means?
Really all right? Can you find that? Is that like a popular meme?
I think it might be. I've seen it a million times.
And so I look at it like this: Saturday Night Live is listening to us. That's how I want to.
Yeah, you can interpret it that way. I'll
Joe
take
Rogan says he could suck his own D.
Hold on,
that's in the news.
As far as the guy park, it is true though because a lot of guys
park. Isn't it?
Man Park.
Man Park.
It's
SNL.
It's like Marvel? Yeah. Crypto? Yeah. Yo, Ravens, Patriots. Like they showed guys as Spot said, like dogs at a park where their women have to be like, hey, you know all that stuff you fucking say to me that I don't care about?
Bond with your buds.
Oh, talk to dudes about it.
You need buds.
Like that's like you being like, Jordan, fucking Yankees. Oh, yo, you see there's a big fight this weekend. Yo, so fucking crypto. Is
this true, dads?
Dad's on the inside, I'm fine.
No, dad's on the outside.
Dad's on the outside, I'm fine. Dad's on the inside, I'm burnt down.
Feelings
I'm
of failure,
confused.
inadequate.
That's not the one I'm talking about.
I don't do enough. Need more time.
Let me see if I can find it. It says, when a man says he's all right, is he really all right?
Is he?
Is he, though?
Is he?
Is he?
When a man, look that up, Spot. When a man says he's all right.
I do wonder, Covino, if you do get old, we all get older.
Not me,
if
bro.
If you're not in your hometown,
Rolando says I look good.
If you're not in your hometown, so you don't have your quote old school friends there.
Let's see.
And I'm not. This is not picking on you, by the way, so don't take it that way. If you're not in your hometown, or your friends move out of your hometown, if you don't make guy friends in the new place you live, then are your only guy bonds like maybe the once or twice a year you see those people on like a like so like
that's
if
not enough, but
I'm saying
acknowledge that.
Like Barry moved to Florida, has 4 kids. You never met his kids because life gets in the way. Gus is in Jersey.
I've met his kids. That's not true. But go ahead.
You've met his kids?
Yes, I've met his kids. You think I've seen him in at all?
How many? He has like 4 kids.
I haven't met all of his kids.
How many? You met 1 kid?
I met 2 of his kids.
Is it this guy? He just looks so sad.
No.
Have you asked?
You ever ask a man how he's doing and he says, I'm all right?
Yeah, what does it really mean when he means all right? Well, the gist of it is most of the time it doesn't mean they're all right. They just say that.
Oh, but what I'm saying is if you move out of your hometown, military kids deal with this. Parents who move a lot, the kids dealt with this. People say, I was a military brat. You sort of have to make new friends, but as an adult, when you're like, yeah, bro, I'm working, I got this, I'm doing this. Does that mean if you're, quote, done making friends, the only time you're going to see friends is hey, you go back to Jersey once a year and see Gus. Or
I'm
you
not done making friends. I'm just not forcing friendships.
That's true.
And, I'm all about it. I think it's great. And I mentioned this on Fox Sports Radio this weekend. Like, you asked me last time I hung out. I went back to Jersey and I was at my best bud's house shooting pool, drinking whiskey the first night I was there.
Yeah, but
so
that's like that's a really nice special occasion. I'm saying like
but when you asked me, I'm like, well, I mean, out here it's different. The second I was home, I was with my buddy, my brother.
This is your home.
We're shooting pool. My hometown.
I still call
but that's my.
It wasn't even my hometown. I just went and visited my friend. I went to his house.
Jersey home.
I think you're
had
missing my
dinner.
point.
We had drinks. We went back to his house. Bonding's important.
I think
but
you're missing my point.
SNL was all about it, which was really ironic.
My point is, pandemic or not, you can't rely on the few times a year at tops you go back to the East Coast to see your friends.
No one's saying you should.
So I'm saying, like, as you get older, that's how, like, I think about the older people in my life and where they met their friends, and whether it's work or the gym or whatever. I always think about, like, who do your parents hang with, and who do my parents hang with, and who.
My parents never hung with anybody, and they still don't.
I feel like
I'm not saying that's normal or okay.
Parents constantly socialized.
Yeah, like my dad has like.
As did my
mom.
mom.
Dad has like random friends.
Why did
like
I hang with my parents and their 5 kids?
Yeah, I get it.
That's who they hung with.
But just your point that you were bringing up the other day, just know that that is a clearly hot topic because if everyone in media and SNL's covering it, guys making friends as adults clearly is a thing.
And again, the pandemic has, I think, a lot to do with it. I mentioned Joe Rogan. That's great.
Joe, is that real?
Yeah, I actually watched
What did
the
he
clip.
say that he could do?
Look up Liquid Todd.
Joe Rogan.
My buddy Liquid Todd posted the link. That's where I saw it.
I've put it around my face just to know I could.
Yep.
By the way, Spot, Joe Rogan, not only is he a doctor, he's a...
Dr. Joe?
He's a yoga instructor as well.
My buddy Liquid Todd says, sadly, Joe Rogan has officially reached the quote-unquote sucking your own dick stage of his career.
I wish.
And
I mean, everybody else sucks his dick. Maybe he should suck his own, too.
He's so flexible. You know, he's a mixed martial artist and fitness guy. He's saying he never did it.
Dick in his face.
Says he's never done it, but he can. And he slapped it around.
I had it. It's really bad. I could never do it.
There's too much hair and dingles.
Chaos. You got to be prepared for that.
Yeah,
Like, you got to prep.
You can't get into it because you're having not a good time. You shouldn't be there.
Exactly.
Have you ever
Some girls
felt
like
the
it.
hairs down there?
Oh yeah.
Like gooch to butthole. The hairs are like.
Are they talking about women? I don't know.
Mine are chaos.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Of course.
Look at me. Imagine what my asshole hair looks like, and you'd be correct.
They're really growing it up.
I got to ask
Like
you.
you saw Champ's asshole.
Well, I mean, I think you...
This is the male bonding I
Which
need.
one's you?
Yeah, you need to talk about sucking your own dick with Joe Rogan.
You guys got wood behind you?
Just a colobus monkey.
Just need a couple bros with wood behind us.
We need cigars.
We
Can
need
we smoke
get
cigars
some
in your house?
cigars and shiplap. We got the shiplap.
We
Get
got
some
shiplap.
cigars.
We got...
A few months, and it makes the fart sound totally different.
Oh, we're talking about farts. I mean, these guys. I mean, you and Joe Rogan might just need to hang.
Is James?
Get up on the table and show
Well, I'm
us.
very flexible.
What pose do you take? What pose?
Oh, here it comes.
I
Jamie,
spread
get
my
the
legs
camera
apart,
ready.
and I go head between the legs.
And you lift your
Yeah, I
nutsack
can
out of
suck
the
my
way.
own dick if I wanted to.
No, you can't.
Super flexible.
You can't. No,
Yes.
you cannot. Bullshit.
I
No,
gotta do
I've
yoga.
never done it.
Bullshit.
I just put it
By
around
the
my
way,
face
Spot.
just to know I could do it.
Around his face to know he could do it is the quote.
Would you?
By the way, that is a total lie. If you could get your dick in your mouth, you would totally try it.
That's the hot take.
If you
the question
could,
is he
you
lying?
know, like he put it around his face. That's a fucking lie.
Is he lying?
It sat in his mouth without question. You heard it here.
There it
I'm
is.
calling out Joe
I have
Rogan.
a question,
There it is.
Spot.
He sucked his own dick.
Since you have done,
If you can, you would.
since you've done yoga
you can, you would.
since you've done yoga now,
I put it
have
in
you
my mouth.
tried
I
to
could.
see how close you get?
I mean, I know I can't.
I'm
It's
the-
like there's no question. I know. I'm not that flexible.
I'm like super unflexible, or else I probably would have tried.
Yeah, not even close.
I've definitely tried it, but I couldn't reach it.
If I was
I'm nowhere close.
If I was a little flexible, I could.
no,
Because I got the length. I just don't have the flex.
no, you know, I think we have we're barrel chested, so we can't fold into our dicks. Rich you might be able to. Rich, you should come to my class. I'll teach you how to suck your own dick.
So that's riveting news. And the last...
See, you have an angle now. Not just a
Last
hot.
story.
Is it hot yoga, regular yoga?
And by
no,
the way,
it's,
hold on. Why are
suck
we
your own dick yoga?
Why are we okay
Dude,
with Joe
yoga-
Rogan slapping it around his face?
But I'm not okay with it. He's put it in his mouth.
Okay, so last story, and there's no surprise here. I don't know where you want to go with this, Rich. Maybe nowhere at all, but a lot of news is circulating or coming out now about Marilyn Manson. Now I'm on Turbo, Sirius XM Turbo every weeknight. We took him off our playlist a long time ago. We stopped playing
Really?
Marilyn Manson about a year ago, I feel like, based on all these allegations of women abuse and
Women.
and how he treated women and all these stories coming out. But we didn't hear a lot of it until recently. Now, like, you're hearing that he has a soundproof room where he would torture women and talk about his rape room and things like that. And in the same vein, you have to understand, like, how is anyone surprised by this? When I know he's a caricature of himself and it was a gimmick and everything, but I think anyone who really knew understood that Marilyn Manson was a bit twisted.
I don't know much about Marilyn Manson at all, other than he looks weird. So my thought is he just always seemed like a freaky guy to me, and it was more of like a character. But maybe in real life he was normal. But I didn't even know. I haven't heard about any of this stuff because it's off my. I'm not on the rock radar. So to me, this is news to me. Everything you're saying is news to me.
That's the Marilyn Manson sort of story swirling. He had basically like
Swirlies?
on the show
Swirlies?
You know the show You, how they had a soundproof room?
Yeah.
They did? Oh, yeah.
Kind of like that. And it's not getting better for him when all his exes and all these people and all these accusations are coming out, you know. But at in the same thought process, you're like, well, you're going to this maniac's house. I'm not saying that you are going there with the thought of being abused, and you should be okay with that. But I mean, he's a weird guy. So anyway,
Hey, Spot,
is
did
there
you
a
get
surprise? Is the question.
Spot, did you get a clip I sent you, or am I just not able to send anything?
That's the random news. By the way, can I just say this, Rich?
Can I
Before
share
we move on?
Can I share a bit of rando news?
Yes, please do.
I'd like to wish a 20th anniversary celebration.
I know it. Oh, no, don't tell him. Do you know what it is?
Okay.
It has to do with one of Spot's interests, and it was 20 years ago today.
Today.
Spot's interests?
20 years ago today.
No, I don't know. Harry Potter?
There you go.
There you go.
20 years ago today was the debut of the Harry Potter franchise.
Sorcerer.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone first made it to movie theaters 20 years ago today in the
You're so
United States.
little.
He was 11. He was 10
He's a
or
little
11.
boy. Then he's a grown man now. He showed his fucking dinky on Broadway, too, since then.
20 years ago. I am so fucking old because I remember seeing the movie.
Do you remember going to the theater?
You know, I didn't get into the franchise until the second movie. And then once I saw the second movie, I was hooked, started reading the books, read all the books, was still reading the books before they were all released, which is crazy in my mind, waiting for books to come out. And then all the movies came, yeah.
Yo, Spot, didn't
my favorite
in the woke cancel culture we work in, didn't the woman that writes pens all those books get some
she
shit?
was she's very like transphobic or against trans people.
Man, see you later, Harry Potter.
Got
though.
a lot of heat, but no, won't take away from the art for me.
Yeah, you're not going to play Marilyn Manson or watch a Harry Potter movie anymore.
Short about
R. Kelly.
trolls.
Out of here too.
Short about trolls. Do I care about her thoughts on trans people?
Harry.
Marilyn Manson. Remember when I made my daughter the introductory Turbo playlist?
Yeah.
I left Marilyn Manson off. I'm like, how as a girl dad,
but in the
dad who wants to raise a strong and confident and great little woman, how can I put this piece of shit's music on her playlist as much as I liked it?
to go along those
I know
lines.
you got to separate the artist from the person, but you know, sexual abuse and assault and sex rooms and rape rooms and I don't know, man.
I'm going to tie two things together. Johnny Depp, who has faced a lot of criticism for his domestic violence, was supposed to be a character in the upcoming Fantastic Beasts film, and he's being replaced.
Man,
yeah.
So it's a big character, and he was like one of the main characters in the
Wild.
franchise.
Yeah.
Is not coming back for that franchise. They're
All
looking
right.
to replace him in, you know how Jack Sparrow is in Pirates of the Caribbean ride?
Yeah.
They're looking to replace Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Go back to the
Jordan
original.
actually brought up, she said, do you realize that Robert De Niro was originally one of the potential casts for Captain Jack Sparrow? Like how off that would have been.
How old he would have looked.
Yeah, it's like, how-
Jack Sparrow's an old guy.
It was so weird.
Yo.
You
could have changed
Keira
the whole
Knightley,
thing.
you.
But yeah, I mean, he definitely got a bad rap too.
You,
So.
Orlando Bloom and your big hog, you.
Mark S.
You.
saying Depp getting done dirty. Before we move on, I just want to throw this out there. Well,
Davy
happy
Jones.
anniversary, Harry Potter,
Davy
Rich
Jones Laka.
and Spot. But you know, I was looking at our Twitch numbers and things like that. And guys, we do free Twitch Fridays as often as we can. And I just want to remind everybody to use your Amazon account to subscribe for free to our Twitch. But please subscribe. Please subscribe to our Twitch account because we need, you know, more people, more numbers to continue doing what we're doing. And I just want to say thank you for that, and just continue supporting the show.
Spot, I sent you
Twitch.
I sent you an Instagram clip my wife sent me. I don't know what it is, but she just wrote, "Oh my God," with like a bunch of like crying laugh faces. So let's just see what the mystery is. It's Fox News talking about the TV show You.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious what this is. And what's up, Soul Patch Eric? Thanks for always chiming in, buddy.
He's very impressed with my bulge.
I mean, here we go. What is this? Let's see.
You don't watch this? It's so funny.
Storylines in so many shows today. You know, I was watching an episode of You where measles came up. Wait. When did I mention measles? I don't know. It was on You. What was on me? What are you talking about? What is I never had the measles. What's on you? We never did a measles and vaccine episode. Is this a joke? I know what you're talking about. It was on you. It was on you. I've never had.
There's no way this is she that fucking dumb?
Maybe she doesn't know the name of the show is You.
Of a show. What's it called? You. It's called You. I've never done a show on me, so I just completely give up. We gotta get It's a show called You on Netflix. There's a show called Luring on Netflix.
There's no way that's real.
There's no way that's real.
No way that's real.
There's no way that's real.
Who's on first? Nope.
There's no way that's real.
Nope.
You know, if you rub your tongue, it feels like you're sucking a penis, according to TikTok.
I just sucked a dick. She's legit getting mad. Is she that dumb? People saying, yes, she is. Even dumber.
No.
There's a show about you. A show called You.
Me?
A show called Laura Ingraham? No.
No.
I didn't know if I was being punked or not. I actually watched that shit live last night. That's Jonesy. There is something I wanted to bring up on the show today that is like the #1 trending thing on BuzzFeed. And
you've been on BuzzFeed a lot lately. Back or what?
Well, I mean, again, I said before, go to any other news source.
I've been looking, man.
No, the mainstream news sources.
I'm always looking.
Yo, do you want to talk about Joe Biden's infrastructure deals? Do you want to talk about the kid that shot people during the riots? Do you want to talk about COVID? Do you want to talk? The news cycle has so little entertaining fun about it that if you just went based on what the headlines are.
I went with thought provokers today.
Dude, fucking misery.
Thought provokers.
Anyone that watches the news must come away out of their day feeling like shit every day.
That's why I brought
Murders,
up. That's why I brought
misery.
up guys in your industry. That's why I brought up Anthony Davis. Honest or positive approach. Just try. I mean, the news stinks. I agree with Rich.
More than ever, it used to be like they don't even have a squirrel water skiing at the end anymore.
Where's the family of ducks?
They don't even have a little French bulldog on a skateboard. They don't even have the feel good story of the day. Like this story out of Miami, there was a flamingo. Like they don't even have the fucking story that's fun at the end.
I watched the news last night and for first time in months.
Never do nothing.
It was kind of nice, but I'm like,
fuck
oh,
that.
look at all this fucking misery,
Bro,
Some
misery.
Dude, you know what it was? I turned on. Shout out to Handsome Gabe. When he was at my place, he set me up with his DirecTV stream.
Yeah.
So I was watching New York news, the New York NBC News. Shout out to Chuck Scarborough, and it was like some guy was walking down the street and somebody just walked up to him and shot him.
Dude,
they showed a video of some guy just getting shot in the middle of the street. I'm like, what?
My mother-in-law.
What's going on?
My mother-in-law.
There was a nice kicker story though.
Cindy, the one that gave us all COVID, who I love. Cindy is infamous for watching the nightly news every day. And every time I hang out with her, and
She's infamous for giving us all COVID.
NBC nightly news?
I said, no, the one with the guy that went to Syracuse with me. What's his name? The handsome fucking nerdy white guy.
David Muir.
David Muir, who was friends with Ryan Sampson in college. David Muir. The guy's a great broadcaster. It's a great show. But when I tell you, I don't think ABC's very Republican or Democrat. I think ABC's sort of just mainstream doom and gloom. Like everything's like a chilling tale today in name a city. St. Louis, where someone was murdered. Next story. Shocking COVID details that will horrify you. Coming up next.
News isn't always going to be fun or light or entertaining.
I don't watch the news.
It's just been very negative and toxic and nothing really. There hasn't been any really intriguing stories in our wheelhouse of fun.
I saw a nice story on the news last night where
there's no nice stories.
this kid. Well, I mean, this kid was had like cancer, and started out great, and got a treatment, got a bone marrow treatment, had a Make-A-Wish from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. You know what his wish was? He didn't want to go to Disney World. He didn't want a sweet bike. He didn't want an Xbox. His wish was to feed the homeless. So he worked with Make-A-Wish Foundation, and they set up a Feed the Homeless campaign with him.
That's a really nice kid.
How
but I feel
sweet
like
is
Nice
that?
story, but I'm bored by it.
I was very, yeah.
You know, can I tell you the only nice story I've seen, I feel like in the last year? In the last, not year, last month or so? The only story where I'm like, yo, that made me almost tear up because it was so nice. We may have even talked about it on the show. I'm not sure. The kid with the Tom Brady help me battle cancer sign.
Look at that. Very sweet.
Yo, that story made me fucking almost weep.
Know what the big
That
story?
was the only story where I'm like, yo, this is fucking beautiful. Tom Brady goes up to the kid, puts his hat on him. You got a champ. That was the only story in the last like 2 or 3, 4 months where I'm like, it made me feel nice.
The big news was Biden signed some infrastructure bill. Where's he getting the money? I don't know. And
Big news is Biden farted.
Biden farted, and apparently the cost of Thanksgiving is going to be double this year because of the supply chain. Turkeys are going up 20 cents a pound. It's harder to get certain items, so plan on spending much more for your Thanksgiving dinner this year. There you go.
Yeah, the supply chain is fucking
Oh, your Christmas decorations are going to be hard to get, so everything is going to cost more this holiday season. So you know what I say? Go with simple this year. Don't say no gifts this year.
I have a question about cock.
I'm sorry, what?
And a question about something that's getting headlines now that I feel like has been around for decades. I thought it was just a myth. Let me ask you about cock first. I know you don't feel very confident about your cock, right?
Yeah,
I just flex sealed it.
It's a little discolored.
Covino's a little weird about his discolored cock.
Yeah.
I don't even feel my cock anymore.
Your cock doesn't even fill gaps anymore.
What happened to your cock?
Yeah.
I think Jordan thinks after COVID I came down with a case of the gay.
Did your cock shrink? It shrank, right? Because
Yeah.
it doesn't fill.
Yeah. So ever since you came down with COVID, you haven't touched Jordan and you tried to suck your own dick with Joe Rogan. Maybe Jordan's right.
They,
Side effect.
They don't talk about these side effects.
People don't realize. Yo, I got brain fog. I'm a little short of breath, and I'm gay now.
I'm gay.
And I'm
he's gay.
I'm craving penis.
And I love men.
After spending all that time in the hospital bed with the guy with the giant head, I haven't been the same.
Yeah.
And male nurses with scrub butts.
You lost your sense of smell. You
got
lost
that
your sense of taste, and you gained a sense of craving penis.
Remember when Nurse Carlos gave you a sponge bath? You felt weird. It moved.
So, can I tell you? I mean, I don't want to disclose too much information, but no joke, like no morning wood, and
it comes back.
Oh, really?
I've gotten it back.
And like, so if I have no morning wood, then clearly nothing else is going on. Like nothing.
I'm telling you.
And it's been 3 weeks.
You got to spank it
3 weeks
to make it.
You almost got to spank it to get it going again, almost like
you got to wind it up you got to pull it like a lawnmower. You got to prime it. You got to prime it like a old car. Yeah, you got to prime it like an old car. It's been in the garage too long. You got to get it primed. And then
But then again, Spot, you were saying sometimes your tastes have changed with the COVID taste and smell thing. What if your taste and what you're attracted to is shit? What if all of a sudden you saw Archie and you're like, I don't know.
Maybe I'll never be the same.
Maybe. I bring up the other caulk as I make my punch list for the house. I just feel like this is a Covino thing. The only reason I'm bringing up something so dumb. Is it possible to want to over caulk things?
Yeah.
Meaning I'm looking at every little gap and I'm like, yeah, should caulk go there? Should caulk go there? Like I'm talking like sink, bathroom, outside, the doors that go to the yard. Like there's a little gap. I'm like, yeah, should they put some fucking caulk in there? Like I'm going around the house and my biggest question is, should I put my caulk there?
You want to stick your caulk in everything.
I feel like every little crevice I see.
Yeah, should that be sealed?
My instinct is should that be sealed?
Should everything be sealed? Is always it is something I think about as well.
And I only bring it up because I feel like you're the fucking only other maniac that would think this way. But I go around my house.
Should it be sealed?
Like I go to the exterior, right? The doors that go the French doors that go to the backyard.
Yeah.
The little the little metal thing that the doors close on, right? In between that and the cement, in between the threshold and the cement, it's like a little gap. I'm like, does that deserve a little
Yeah. Should there be even between the floorboard of like your molding on the floor and the actual floor?
I don't think there should be caulk there. Like here,
no, but when
you
should there be a gap?
Look at the baseboard and the wood floor. Some areas there's a tiny little space, but that's because no house is completely even. But I don't think you don't caulk that.
You might as well call that Sophia Beverly because I want to put my caulk in that.
Wow.
Yeah, hey, Spot, like the bathroom. In the bathroom, where the kids used, the one that Covino farted in yesterday that Sarah was by.
That echoed throughout the entire house.
The kids' bathroom on the other side of the house.
You were in that bathroom?
Yeah.
Oh my, that's even worse.
That's why I was so embarrassed that Sarah was there while I
it
was
was this
farting.
one.
So Spot, like the sink, right? This sounds like a dumb thought, but my contractor's like, well, you have these beautiful ceramic floors that aren't going to get water damage. There's like almost like a little gap between the vanity and the thing. And I was like, Sarah's like, should there be a little caulk there? And our contractor's like, you could if you want, but you don't need it. And I'm like, it sounds like such a dumb Covino thought, but every time there's a crevice anywhere, I'm like,
you want to put your caulk in it. I got it.
I mean, we could keep the caulk joke going all day, but I'm genuine. I'm being serious about that. I feel like I don't want to over caulk this place. My instinct is every time I see a crevice, I'm like, oh, you know what that just needs? That just needs a little.
Just dangle your caulk in front of it like Joe Rogan.
Slap it.
Slap it. Yeah.
Slap your face around it.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's a thought that
Like, do you want like a visible string of caulk?
But I'm saying,
or do you want just you want to like smooth it out?
Spot,
So
I
it's
saw
unnoticeable.
someone on TikTok, and I'm sure Covino said the same thing because he's got caulk on the mind. You ever see someone shows how they can do all their little grout work and like so perfectly seamless but fast, and you'd be like,
I see all these things. all
like,
the
but there's like a way, like they have like a glider with it. And it's like,
Yeah, I don't have that kind of skill.
I don't know, man.
Like here, Chris in Florida says you should want threshold 100% caulk.
The thresholds to outside need caulk.
How much crevice needs to be covered? That's the question.
Love you guys.
Okay. So
Crevice.
I can see you dwelling on it, you know.
But no, because I'm making that list where
Right.
the contractor's coming this week to do quote unquote some of the final touches.
I mean, I
and I'm
think
like,
you got to focus if you really got to bear down, focus on the kitchens and the bathrooms when it comes to that
Yeah,
stuff.
like the
yeah.
places that have moisture involved.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
You want to make sure
But
that
you
moisture's
do
not
look
getting
around
into
and you're like,
crevices.
what about that? You know?
And Sarah's big thing is, she asked our contractor, and he not blew her off, but he's like, no, I know this. I'm a contractor, but apparently,
Damn, son.
no, he didn't.
He went all
he's-
macho on her.
No, he's
It's like-
fucking the nicest guy.
It's like back in the kitchen, missus.
Our contractor is fucking great, dude.
Back in the kitchen with the countertop I haven't delivered yet.
That's not his fault.
I know.
He brought up the point. Sarah brought up the point that she read somewhere that when you get a tub, and this might be your issue, like a lot of times if contractors put in a tub, it sounds ridiculous, but like not accounting for the weight of a person and water, that once it settles, the caulk will and the grout will fucking separate a little bit.
That's what happened.
And
I got that fixed. Yeah.
no, and what'll happen is like
How about if I
the contractor will have to come back, like, because they're not going to do all the grout work with a tub full of water and a person standing in there. So they do the work, and then you have to call your contractor back like a little while later and be like, all right, now that the tub has settled,
Yeah.
you got to do the whole thing.
And
How
that's
about this?
exactly what I had to deal with.
Fill up
months
your
ago.
tub. Covino and I will sit in it, and then they can do the grout.
While you guys are in the tub.
While we're in the tub.
That's the point. Yeah. See,
We'll,
now you're
we'll
talking.
bathe each other.
All right. One last thing.
By the
before-
way, on the HGTV tip, how do you know what? Like, I could tell you this again: jobs that were not complete. How do you know what sort of countertops you have? I don't think mine are sealed because they absorb. Let's
meaning you
say
feel like if there was a ring of water on it for a long enough time, you feel like it would actually.
No, let's say I had a pink drink. I could see that the pink absorbs in my counter.
I guess depending on.
But I don't know it's not
quartz or
granite.
granite. It's
I don't know if it's quartz. It's
quartz, whatever the-
Formica. I don't know what it is. It's definitely not granite. But I know that it absorbs things, and I have to bleach it. So I'm assuming it's not sealed,
does
but I
that
don't
sometimes.
know if I have to seal it. And I don't even like. For me, like Jordan's like Google it. I'm like, what am I Googling? I don't know what it is. What's the material? Does it need to be sealed? I don't know those things.
All right. The final thought.
Spray some Flex Seal on it.
The final thought of the day, which, as I pointed out, BuzzFeed.
If anyone has the answers, please hit me up.
We used to
At Steve
find
Covino.
we used to find a lot of cool stuff on BuzzFeed. Then we agreed that it got a little
corny.
But now
got something.
Bunk feed. But we were all about it at one point.
Yeah,
in the early
BuzzFeed's
2000s.
BuzzFeed's a good website, but you're
Yeah.
right. They went a little lame, and now I found
What
something
character
this morning.
from once it started to turn into what character are you from Sex and the City or whatever was hot at the time? Fuck that corny shit.
I'm totally a Miranda.
It got really corny after a while.
Where is this? I was trying to find it. There is.
But I mean, do we live in a
Rich is
culture of
Samantha?
I don't have go-to websites anymore.
And you're definitely a Charlotte.
Yo, found it. This is everywhere today. I don't know what. Don't ask me why this is everywhere. It's on Yahoo News, Google News, BuzzFeed, everywhere. I guess this is one of those we need something other than COVID to talk about.
You said we need.
We need.
We need.
I did say we need.
He's an island boy. He's just like trying to make it.
You see, the Island Boys did a song about Taco Bell that made me love him even more.
Can we get them on the show?
He said we need.
I really want to talk to them.
I fucking love the Island Boys.
Can they be our first guest?
These guys are like us, but like Cuban.
We've heard this.
Like they're trying to make it.
We've heard this before.
We
by the
need.
way, I'm.
Spit it out, please.
I mean, you guys not interrupting with fun little quips? Is that not what we do? You want me to just steamroll through your fucking quips?
Sorry,
We gotta go.
I'm worried about the time.
A horrifying sex competition that fraternities engage in, and people are finally talking about it.
Is it
Elephant walks?
blowjob races?
No, not blowjob races. A horrifying sex competition.
How deep can your fist go?
That fraternities do.
Oh.
That people are finally talking about. I'm gonna say it. I guarantee you've heard it, but you know how much like there's like sex moves like the Houdini, and you're like, no one really does that. Or like, hey, you know, like it's always like a sex move that no one's really ever done. Like, oh, the old jelly donuts. Like, no one's punching someone's nose, and they're just dumb things you hear people say.
They're jokes, yeah.
Yeah, they're really just jokes. Has anyone actually partook? Have you partook in hogging, where a group of guys goes out to the bar and they compete to see who could fuck the fattest girl? Where you going? Are you?
I've competed in the hog off.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, he's been the hog off champ. Hold that up. Higher. There you go. It's a beautiful shirt.
It is.
Franz.
Nice body, nice and soft.
Amazing work, Franz.
Thank you, Franz.
But this is like, Spot, I'm being serious. This is a legit article on major websites today, not just like some random thing.
So
Look,
who could get with the
Yahoo's main
ugliest
page,
girl?
Google News main page, Hagen.
I mean, I know what Hagen is, but it's a competition.
This is an article written by.
I never looked at
let's
it
see
like,
here.
we're competing for the ugliest girl.
I've always disliked fraternities for obvious reasons, but now I'm genuinely terrified after learning about a practice called, quote, hogging.
You know who's complaining about it? Hogs. Kidding.
Evidently, the practice is not anything new. It's been in the Urban Dictionary for nearly 2 decades. According to the website,
why would they show the
hogging is basically when groups of men compete to have sex with the fattest woman at a bar or party.
Oof.
And apparently in 2018, it happened at Cornell University, where the Zeta Beta Tau fraternity had what they call a, quote, pig roast, where each guy, and see, this is rude.
ZBT.
Each guy competed to see who could bring the fattest girl back to the fraternity house. Now, that's just rude.
What was your
I just didn't know people did this for real. I thought this was,
What was your frat again?
Pi Kappa Alpha.
Oh, that's right.
Mauser knows what's up.
Yeah, he was a peak
You know where
boy.
we would try to get with fat chicks from I Ate a Pie.
It's ridiculous.
Like that one?
There it is.
But you don't think you didn't think that was just more of like a funny term and not something people really did? Like if someone hooked, it sounds rude, but back in the day, if someone hooked up with a fat person, you'd say, "Oh, they went hogging." I never heard of it in the term of like
little rude, you know.
It's fucking very rude.
Like very rude. Like very rude to be like she's a hog, you know.
Yeah, but you don't agree with my sentiment that it was more of a term, less of a competition. Like
I didn't know. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know that people were really competing.
Because that's rude.
I knew what hogging was.
I mean, it's
I knew the sentiment
in
was.
every sense of it. It's rude. But if your buddy hooked up with a big girl, the whole thing was like he went hogging.
But I didn't know
rude.
Yeah,
100%.
I-
But I didn't know that. This is
You once told me.
me.
The both of you.
Oh, let's go. Let's hear it.
In 2008,
Let's hear it.
You both told me in order to break my slump.
Yes, agreed. This
that
is not
I
rude.
needed
This
to
is not
go
rude.
hogging. You said to me that
I
exact
think we just meant like
phrase.
lower your standards.
Yeah,
Nope.
I don't.
You said
Slump
hog it.
bust. It's called a slump
I
buster,
stand by
right?
that, Spot. I don't take that back these years later. If you are single and your standards are too high, lower them. The term hogging, hurtful, rude, yes, outdated.
But didn't know it was a real actual competition.
I never said let's
in the college scene.
I never said, hey, let's put human beings' feelings aside and try to fuck fat girls in a rude competition. I was saying, if you're having no luck in the dating scene, lower your standards a little bit. These are completely different concepts.
Pikes would never do that. Slags, scholars, leaders, athletes, gentlemen. That's what I founded. We didn't demean women in this hog way. The only hog we talked about was our own.
I think the idea of the quote slump buster, I think women do it too. Go out with a doofy guy.
Remember our fraternity, Covino and Rich, when we started? I felt a thigh.
I try to forget that.
That was one of our little gimmicks early on, way back in the day on Covino and Rich.
Okay, well, I know for a fact. Hold on.
I felt a thigh.
On June 11th, 2007, you insisted that I go hogging.
Really? Like you have this in your
On
files?
June 11th, 2011, 2007, you insisted that I go hogging.
Where is that?
Right there.
Spot goes hogging, 5 p.m.
And
hogging stories.
This is 2009, November or December 8th. I'm sorry, October 8th, 2009.
Covino insists big girls show more attention and love. Rich rather bang a 9 or a 10.
Hold
so
on.
you're the advocate of hogging?
No. Look at 140.
Oh, that's right, because Mark Zito gave his college update, Hogtober.
No.
So
Look,
we
hold
talked
on,
about
hold
hogging.
on. If we were going to read this and people are just listening, at 1:40 p.m. in 2011, Covino doesn't
This
condone
stuff's-
hogging.
This is fantastic.
Covino's definition is... I can't read that spot.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize you were
Covino's
so blind.
definition is step below your normal
Covino's definition
standard.
is step below normal standard. Rich says hogging is way below.
So I don't... It says right there.
So look
I
at us,
don't
Spot.
condone it.
Look at you took out the receipts, and Covino and I have never condoned hogging. We
I
said
did
that
the
you should
opposite.
lower your standards.
But you said me to hog. I wish I had the
glad
audio
you had
from
that.
07.
Well, Mark Zito seems to be the most guilty here. He wanted to do something called Hogtober. That guy's a fucking delinquent.
Hold on. I wonder if I have that bit saved because I saved everything. Hang on.
Oh, hey, look at that. Look how far we've come. But
I've
I'll
never-
back Rich up. I didn't know that this was like a legit thing.
Even back then, I would have thought rude and terrible to hook up with someone just because they're fat. I thought the thought was lower your standards, and unfortunately, a lot of times that means in the looks department. If some guy is a fucking gross dude, and he's like not dating, a lot of times he's not dating because he thinks he's grabbing himself a model, and he's not. So lower your standards. Spot, the feedback needs to keep scrolling for some reason. It's it's stuck.
All right. Well, thank you guys for all the feedback.
Tell me when.
There you go.
Appreciate
Good.
it.
Spot, yeah, Spotty's got the receipts, and it shows that Covino and I
Aren't as bad as you made
weren't
me
as
out.
bad
Yeah.
as you made us think.
Thanks.
Shout out to the hog off.
Shop.covinoandrich.com.
Spotty, do you
Get
have
your
notes
hog
for all
off
the shows?
t-shirt.
Yeah, Spot has like a log of every show.
Yeah. Up until this, like recently.
Thank you, Cubs
it's
fan.
always been rude to purposely try to hurt someone's feelings. Way big difference between breaking a streak and a fraternity having a competition. You know what it's like? What's that movie? That's rude on a level
Saving Private Ryan.
No. That's rude on a
Saving
level.
Ryan's private.
That's rude on a level that I can't even understand. Like how you would even think it's normal to hook up with a girl that's big just to try to insult them in front of your frat bros? Here's the problem. Someone made the analogy. I don't think they made this exact one, but do you remember that movie with Steve Carell? He was a fucking weirdo that did like taxidermy. And they brought him to like a dinner with schmucks.
Oh, Dinner with Schmucks. Yeah.
You ever see that? I actually saw that movie for the first time. It's
Isn't
actually
Paul Rudd in that movie?
pretty funny. That's Rudd.
I'm more of a Burt Wonderstone guy.
Do you know the premise of that movie though?
Nope.
Paul Rudd gets invited to a dinner with like his asshole boss, and the whole premise of the dinner is like, yo, bring like as your guest, bring the fucking biggest weirdo you've ever met, and it's almost a competition. Like, yo, who could bring the biggest weirdo? And at first it's like, oh, that's funny, but then you realize like it's really fucking rude, and then you realize like, yeah, maybe these people are more interesting and better people than the people hosting the party.
Right, yeah.
And that's the whole premise of the movie. But
Okay, yeah.
yeah, the end.
Well, that's it.
Boom.
Bam.
Bam. Shiz bam. Snappy.
Shiz bam, snip, snap, skittle, sack.
All right. Well, on that note, we'll see you guys mañana. Have a great Taco Tuesday, and we'll see you tomorrow. Until then, arrivederci, baby. See you
In the promised land. Have
Goodbye.
a good one. Later, guys.
Peace.